Testing 1 2. Testing. Okay, everyone, if you're joining us, we're running obviously a little late. I wanted to give you a picture of the consolation game just finishing up. 12-7 was the final as the Star City Bulldogs pull out the win over the Fountain Lake Cobras. So Arkadelphia and Monticello, this is the championship game. The finals here from Morrison Park in Malvern. Tournament director made the announcement over the PA just a couple of minutes ago that as soon as the field's prepped and the umpires are hydrated and ready to roll, then we're going to play baseball here. Try to get everyone home in a decent hour. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Badger Baseball 22 edition. In playoffs, so far so good for the Badgers as they are 2-0 in the 4A South Regional here from Malvern. Got a win yesterday to start things off over the Crossett Eagles, and then earlier a game ago, 2 games ago, against the Star City Bulldogs. And so the 2 undefeateds are going to square off here in about 15 to 20 minutes. And that is the number 1 seed from 4A8, the Monticello Billies, and the number 1 seed from 4A7, the Arkadelphia Badgers. Alongside is Chris Babb, hopefully turning things around quickly as far as the lineups, and hopefully we'll have some information for you as quick as possible. We know what Arkadelphia is going to do. The Badgers are going to start Donovan Witten on the mound. Carter Babb will be in right field. Second base will be Ryan Harris. Everyone else in their normal positions. Of course, Tate Goodrum is the shortstop. Trip Campbell in center. Jarrett Bell in left. Pentecost Wynn is going to be at third. Tucker Johnson at first. And KD will be back in the batting lineup in the 8-hole as the DH. It's been a long day. It's been a good one. Arkadelphia trailed in the first game of the day against Star City. They got down actually 5-1 and a big 5-run inning in the fourth. Got them back ahead 6-5. They tacked on one more in the sixth and pulled away to secure a 7-5 record. Arkadelphia will be in action. State tournament begins on Thursday, and Arkadelphia with a win here would get a bye in the state tournament and actually play either a 3 or a 4 seed in the second round. That should be on Friday. I'm good. As long as he can see the screen, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I said as long as he can see the screen, I'm okay. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's right over there. I put
Make it see if somebody would like to thank the Pentecost family for allowing us to use their canopy during the first game. Obviously, you can see our view is different. We're down the first base line. We are even with the third baseline. And if we could see above home plate, we'd have a great view on if whether balls were fair or foul, Blake. But we're not going to be able to see. We are even further down than we were in the previous 2. But you mentioned the state tournament. You know, you get to this point, and obviously you want to win a regional championship. But the bracket, as we pull it up, the advantage of winning this game is that the 1 seed, I think we touched on this in the first game, 3 regions in Class 4A, the 6 conferences combined for 3 regions. Each of those 3 regions, the 1 seed gets a bye. The 2 seed from one of the 3 regions also gets a bye to make it the 4th. It's a 16-team bracket with 12 teams, so 4 of those get an automatic bye to that second round. And this is the East region's year to get 2 byes. So the benefit of this game is that if you can win tonight's game and be the 1 seed from the 4A South, you get a bye in that first round. You don't play until Friday, May 13th. And you only have to win 2 games that weekend to make the championship game. The first round has 8 teams playing, and then the second round on Friday is essentially the quarterfinals. There will be 8 teams left. So quarterfinals next Friday, semifinals on next Saturday, and the winners of that would make the state championship game. So this game tonight could really set you up well pitching-wise. And talking to the Malvern head coach Jordan Knight, he said, you guys are one of the deepest since you have 3 starters. And if you can get a win, that really sets you up for a good possibility since you have 3 starting pitchers to be able to play 2 games. So a lot on the line, obviously. Pride, and you want to win that regional championship, but it also does help you out next week. We know what pitching situation Arkadelphia is in. Donovan Whitten has all his pitches. He did not pitch in the first game. He pitched about 27 pitches last night, so he has his full allotment. The only player who could not pitch today would be Trip Campbell. You go pitch counts, and they go by day. So the pitchers for Arkadelphia who pitched in the first game, Carter Babb, Tate Goodrum, could also pitch in this game if necessary.
Yeah, and what that sets you up for, not to look too far ahead, Chris, but what it sets you up for is if you get that 1 seed and you have basically a 3-game, you have 2 games to get to the finals. If you can use your starting pitcher, your number 1 pitcher, and we all know that that's Trip Campbell so far for Arkadelphia. You can use him in either that first game or that semifinal game and then have him available for the championship game, which is not for another week. And so you can throw your number 1 guy if you make it to the finals, both either in the quarters, the semis, and then pitch him again in the finals. So good thing setting up if you win this game. If you do not win this game, all bets are off, and you're going to be you're going to have to play Thursday, Friday.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were being given this roster, and then thanks to Bridget Williams for bringing us this roster. She knew we needed it, and she said, you need to take a picture of that. I got to take that to the press box. Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you lose this game, the loser of this game will play in the first round on Thursday, May 12th, at 3 p.m., and they'll play the 4 seed from the East region. And so that is a tough region. Valley View, Brooklyn, Robinson, Lone Oak, so some tough teams up there as well.
Yeah, and all roads lead. They used to lead to Baum Stadium. Now they lead to Benton. Yep. So.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, they had the COVID cancellation and no championships then. Then after that season, when the SEC had to bump its conference schedule back, Fayetteville High School and the University of Arkansas could not put a bid in for the championships because of the timing. Arkansas baseball was hosting Florida in an SEC series. I think softball was still in action as well, but Benton was able to put that bid in and get that, and it has soccer, baseball, softball all at that new facility in that new complex at Benton High School. And they bid again this year and got the bid. So the state championships will be at the Benton High School complex.
Just got the lineup in for the Monticello Billies, and we'll be entering that in here on our scoring sheet so I can hopefully bring you player names and positions.
We'll go ahead and bring you an update. So far, we know that Star City will be the 3 seed from the 4A South in next week's tournament. So Star City will play next Thursday at 5:30 p.m. against the 2 seed from the North region. The state tournament at Nashville High School. So next weekend, all Class 4A baseball and softball teams will be in Southwest Arkansas, Howard County at Nashville High School. And so Star City, the 3 seed, will play Thursday at 5:30. Fountain Lake is the 4 seed from the South, and they will play Thursday morning at 10 a.m. So they'll have their first game against the 3 seed from the North. And that is going to either be Farmington or I can't remember who else Farmington was in that side. I do know Shiloh Christian advanced to that championship game. by defeating Farmington. Harrison also one of those 4 teams that will be in the region. So we do know that is for sure. And then the winner of tonight's game is what we just talked about. Monticello got to this point with a 5-4 win, as we'll go ahead and put the entire bracket up. Monticello got to this point by defeating Bauxite 5-4 yesterday. That was an exciting walk-off hit in the bottom of the 7th inning over the Miners. Monticello is the 1 seed from the 4A8. The Billies finished 11-4 in conference play. They defeated Crossett last Saturday to secure that 1 seed. And then I said yesterday, it felt like yesterday. In the first game this morning, Monticello defeated Fountain Lake 3-2. And I didn't know how that one ended, but Fountain Lake, Monticello was the home team. Fountain Lake was up 2-1 going into the bottom of the 7th inning. And they had a bunt, a misplayed bunt. And so first and third with nobody out, a Fountain Lake pitcher got called for a balk. And so that tied the game at 2-2. Then with runners on the corners again, first and third with 1 out, a sacrifice fly from Monticello to deep enough to the outfield to score the run ended that game. So Monticello scores 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning to defeat Fountain Lake earlier today to reach the championship game.
You know, and most of these ball games have been close. Our last game this morning early this afternoon was a close affair. And then other than that, our game yesterday against Crossett ended up being the largest margin of victory at 13-6. 12-7 was your margin in this consolation game. That's the next further spread, but hopefully the Badgers can pour it on here in the last game of the day in the championship.
Obviously the Badgers yesterday got a round 1 win, 13-6 over the Crossett Eagles. Trip Campbell got the start on the mound. Arkadelphia jumped out to a 6-1 lead, and then a home run after a 6-0 lead, then 2 runs in the 4th, I believe it was, and then a 2-run homer from Stetson Bishop made the score 6-4. Arkadelphia got a 2-run double from Carter Babb to make it 8-4. In the bottom of that inning, Arkadelphia went on to score 5 more runs to make it 13-4, and then were able to get a inning-ending double play with the bases loaded to escape 1 jam and then close it out in the 7th. And then earlier today, Blake just talked about it, a comeback for the Badgers, a comeback win for the Badgers. Arkadelphia down 5-1 and able to have a 5-run inning to make it 6-5 and go on to win 7-5. Tate Goodrum comes in relief of Carter Babb and really did a fantastic job. I believe it was 3.5, if not 4 innings of work for Tate Goodrum, and did a good job of stopping the bleeding and then getting the win for Arkadelphia.
It's a beautiful afternoon, 76 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Shadows starting to cover up most of the field. The plate area, if you joined us last night, is usually the last to carry any sunshine. And we're getting a little later start today than we did yesterday, so those shadows are going to disappear. But for the hitter, it's a shady delivery from the pitcher into a sunny contact area at the plate, so that does make some difference there. And Arkadelphia has played there already with the late game yesterday, and we'll see if it makes any difference today. This is what Monticello is going to start with. Scott Johnson and his Billies are going to look like this. Leading off, and by the way, Arkadelphia has been the top seed until now. They've been in the third base dugout, which is the home dugout, and now they've moved over to the first base dugout, so going to be in the sunshine over there in that dugout. Our fans have made the journey across the way over to the first base side bleacher area, and so we have done the same, a little different vantage point for our cameras. But this is what Monticello is going to look like when they come up to bat in the bottom of the first. Leading off of the center fielder Dorian Allen, the designated hitter, will bat second. That's Braden Brown. The third batter is number 3, and he plays third base, Cade Piggott. The cleanup batter is Tucker Breedlove, first baseman. Batting 5th is left fielder John Frost. Batting 6th is right fielder Warren Pennington. Brooks Bowman is the second baseman. He bats 7th. Brooks Harvey, the shortstop, bats 8th, and Tristan White, the catcher, will bat 9th. They will use a DH today, and that will be for Easton Bird. He is their pitcher, and he will not be in the batting lineup, but he will start, and we'll see him in just a few minutes as Arkadelphia will get the top of the inning to bat for the first time in the tournament.
Scott Johnson, head coach at Monticello, was the head coach at Star City in 2015 when these two teams met. Broadcast from, I think, this exact same location. He was the head coach at Star City. His assistant is Blake Wynn. Blake Wynn was a player on that Star City team in 2015. He grew up playing baseball with former Badger Danny Joe Spradlin and the Matros boys. So Blake Wynn, the assistant coach in his first year, just graduated from college last year. He has played for Coach Johnson at Star City, and now they coach together at Monticello. And Blake, I'm going to put this graphic back up and move our camera. I think I can move it more so to the left where it's not blocking people watching, but we'll also have a little bit better view. But I don't want to make people sick at home while we're doing that.
So while we're doing that, we'll go back through the lineup for the Badgers. This is the way they're going to come to bat in the top of the first. Tate Goodrum will be batting first. He's playing shortstop. Carter Babb will be in right field. He's batting second. Batting third, Trip Campbell will be back in center field. Batting fourth in left field, Jarrett Bell. Batting fifth at third base is Wynn Pentecost. Batting sixth and getting the bump today for the Badgers, Donovan Witten. Batting seventh is Tucker Johnson at first base. Batting eighth is K.D. Young. He's the DH. And batting ninth and playing second base today is Ryan Harris. Ryan Harris, speaking of, had a big first game here earlier today. Went 3 for 3, had 3 RBIs and a spectacular web gem there at second base, is turning a double play, leaping high into the air, robbing a would-be line drive base hit and doubling up a base runner at second base. And so Ryan has absolutely fit right into this Badger lineup here and has earned himself a starting role at second base for this championship game. Donovan Witten has had a good year on the mound. He, in the regular season, pitched 26 1/3 innings. That was in 13 games that he appeared. He only started 1 game. He does have 4 wins and 1 save in an opportunity. He's given up 16 hits. He's given up 13 runs. 10 of those 13 were earned. He's walked 14, struck out 31, and he's hit 4 batters. He has a 2.65 ERA. So junior right-hander Donovan Witten will get the start for the Badgers when we get ready to roll here in just a few minutes. And the Billies and Badgers both taking their final warm-ups in front of their respective dugouts. Coach Drew Lowe is recording his second playoff win in as many tries this year for Arkadelphia. In his 5th year, made the playoffs every year, with the exception, obviously, of the COVID-shortened year a couple of years ago. But first year he's been able to advance in a couple of games, as a matter of fact, this year. So monkey's off his back and rolling into the postseason is Coach Lowe. It looks like we've got picture again. The way the ballpark sets up, if you're new to the broadcast, we are at Morrison Park here in Malvern. 385 straightaway center in the batter's eye. 335 in the alleys to the left and right of the Malvern and Leopards, painted in the alleyways, and 310 down the short porches, both in right and left field. No wind today, so not much going to keep the ball in or out of the ballpark. This is a hard park to hit it out of once you get towards that raised center field area. But before that, inside of that or outside of that, definitely can be put over the wall, especially down those lines. Not had a Badger hit a home run over the fence yet in this tournament. Trip Campbell's got 3 on the year over the wall, and certainly a chance to do that in any at bat.
Well, Blake, everybody is about in the shade except for us and some of the Badger fans sitting in the bleachers behind us. So we do. It's obviously not the best camera angle, but at least we do have a picture. You can try to get all the bases in there, and so we'll do a radio broadcast with a little picture.
And if I believe, maybe it's just me, but I believe we're being invaded by Fordyce redbugs.
They are. I have noticed anywhere on the concrete here. I noticed them at Arkadelphia, at OBU. They are redbugs everywhere.
I don't think it's actually a chigger, which is the red bug I think that they were speaking of, but these are little red. They look more like the mascot of.
Quit talking about them now. I feel like I got them crawling on my
Crawling
legs.
all over me. Yeah, I know. I do know one thing. We have a lot louder speaker version here as we did on the third base side. Looks like we're about ready for baseball.
Yeah, looks like we might be doing some in and out. So we still got some in and out before we play baseball, Blake.
Well, basically it's the umpires. Usually that umpires are going to determine the play of the game, and we're going to wait on umpires. They're working three-man crews here this weekend in playoff baseball.
Yeah, the championship, we'll believe it'll have John Duncan, Brian Tackett, and Brandon Fitz. So don't know what the rotation or Tackett was behind the plate in the consolation game. Fitz was at third, Duncan was at first, so normal rotation may have Duncan behind the plate. Not sure how that'll work, but we'll know here in about 15 minutes after the teams take in and out.
And the Billies will go first as they are the home team, and one of the Billies took a tumble as he goes out. Not sure exactly what happened there, but the right fielder took a tumble as he went out there. Not sure if he got his feet tangled up with another player, but went down hard there, and Monticello uses multiple players per position, so same amount of time allotted for each team, but they choose to split theirs up between first teamers and second teamers and even a third teamer in left and first base.
First baseman for Monticello, Tucker Breedlove, was the starter in yesterday's win over Bauxite. And big senior righty got the win on the mound.
And an Arkadelphia connection. His dad, actually a graduate of Arkadelphia High School.
Went to college with his mom.
His granddad, his grandparents here were residents of Arkadelphia. His mom taught at Gurdon Public Schools. His dad worked in Arkadelphia. They lived in Arkadelphia, and Tucker's dad and aunt both started and finished high school as Arkadelphia Badgers. So between games, I was checking in on the Razorbacks. Not sure exactly what the score is there. It looks like the top of the ninth as Arkansas is batting. It's 5-3 Auburn, and 2 outs. Arkansas down to their final out. And if you're watching or listening to the Razorbacks, they pulled off one last night. Congratulations to the OBU Tigers pulling off a Great American Conference win this morning, earlier this morning, and
pull up that
in Hot Springs at Majestic Park.
Henderson State playing UAM right now, so another little Arkadelphia versus Monticello game going on just west of us at Majestic Park in Hot Springs. We'll pull up that score as well. right now. Henderson State is up 1-0 in the bottom of the 8th inning. So that game's moving along quickly. 1-0 Reddies as they bat with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th at Majestic Park. A win will advance the Reddies and play tomorrow mid-morning. The first game in the winner's bracket will be Ouachita versus Southern Arkansas. That will be at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning at Majestic Park. And then after that game, Henderson State will play the winner of the last game between Oklahoma Baptist and Harding. So if Henderson holds on, Ouachita will play at 9:30 tomorrow morning in Hot Springs, and then Henderson would play right after that approximately in noonish.
Well, we hope that
Brian Harris making his appearance on color. He wants a shirt. They don't have KD's size of shirts in that tent, Juice. They're out. There's only so much you can talk about when you aren't planning on them taking in and out where it is.
Well, you're exactly right. We've about covered it all in the earlier broadcast, and right now it's just down to business. It's there's not a whole lot to be said. We've got the 2 best teams in the tournament. We've got the 2 best teams in the regular season leading up to the tournament. They're finally getting a chance to play. It's the way it should be. I would hate to ruin it with bad broadcasting. So we'll try to keep it to a minimum as we get ready to start things here in Malvern.
4A state soccer tournaments are next week as well, and the entire standings aren't done yet, but in the 4A South in boys soccer, Nashville leads the conference at 8-0, DeQueen 6-1, Hope 5-2, Arkadelphia 7-3. So Arkadelphia will play in the state tournament next week at Robinson on the boys side. And as we pull up that bracket, let's talk about that for a second.
The Razorbacks do go final. They drop one to Auburn, 5-3 from the Plains in Auburn. So rubber game will be tomorrow for the Razorbacks.
It does look like, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Arkadelphia, that state tournament is also Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it looks like Arkadelphia's boys might play Valley View Thursday morning at 11, but don't quote me on that. But the boys have qualified for the state tournament, and that'll be next week in Little Rock at Robinson. Lady Badgers have not qualified for the 4A state tournament. Bauxite, DeQueen, Robinson, and Morrilton, the 4 teams. Yes, Arkadelphia and Morrilton in the same conference in soccer. The Morrilton to Mena Drive, Morrilton to DeQueen. That's got to be a good one, too. Track and Field's already had its state meet. Girls and boys soccer. Softball team finished a couple of games out of making the regional here. We do have the softball scores. It looks like the 4A7 has the, as you see John Duncan there with his, got the helmet
Got
going.
the skull cap going on. How about that?
Yeah.
John going to be behind the plate.
Coach Johnson trying to do the foul ball from the plate, and he hit it into the stands. Almost took out Elizabeth Hill, Gray Manning, Larry Manning, Brenda Manning, all with one fell swoop. Badgers coming out to take their in and out now. In the softball, Nashville just run ruled Crossett 10-0 in 5 innings. It was a perfect game. It was a perfect game from Maddie McJunkins to get the win for the Nashville Scrappers. Earlier in the day, in the 1-4 game, the 4 from the 8 was Hamburg, and they scored 6 runs in the last inning to defeat Mina, the 4 seed from the 4A7. So that was a tough one for the Mina Lady Cats. Bauxites girls got the win in the second game, and now Malvern is playing Camden Fairview. So the 4A7 2-1 in the first round of softball. This softball tournament is just playing its first round today. They couldn't play yesterday, so they will play the semifinals, championship, and consolation all on Monday.
So if you're joining us for the first broadcast of the day or even the weekend, we want to remind you that Mascot Media has rolled out a school-specific app for the Arkadelphia Badgers. You can find it on your iTunes store or your Google Play.
If you go to the iTunes store, just search for Arkadelphia Badgers, and it will come up with the blue icon with the Badger head logo, and it will enable you to watch broadcasts as we this just launched a couple of weeks ago, and so over the summer be able to get roster schedules, all kinds of fun stuff up for you to be able to go to those or that app to get your information for Arkadelphia Badger and Lady Badger athletics for the 2022-23 season.
So the sun has finally given us a little break here and may even give the temperature a break. It's been in the low to mid 80s all day, and it's finally broke down into the mid 70s, and so the lights are on here at Morrison Park and Malvern, and Coach Lowe getting his final few swings in as the Badgers take in and out, and we'll be ready to play ball. Looks like the umpires are loading up their water bottles and their cheeks full of sunflower seeds, and we're ready for championship baseball here from Malvern.
Again, we go over the starting lineups for Arkadelphia. Defensively, left to right around the outfield, Jarrett Bell in left, Trip Campbell in center, Carter Babb in right field. Left to right in the infield, Wynn Pentecost at third, Tate Goodrum at short, Ryan Harris at second, Tucker Johnson at first. Donovan Whitten gets the start on the mound for Arkadelphia. Zane Hill behind the plate. Arkadelphia coached by head coach Drew Lowe. It's by Bobby Evans, Todd Roop, and Blake Weaver.
We are out of material.
We're out of material, but we're getting close for championship baseball.
We are, and you can feel it. The air's cooled down just a bit. The sun's gone down.
I'm
gonna
get to take my cap off. I have to
nowhere in the ballpark other than right up against the foul pole in right field is there any sun remaining on the field of play. So this feels and looks a lot more like regular season than playoff or tournament ball.
Yeah, one thing I was last night in catching Nashville and Star City, you know, one of the things they mentioned on their broadcast, this is one of the first games that teams will have played fully under the lights. Arkadelphia has not played very many of those. A couple of 6 o'clock games, maybe at Henderson. One of those ended up getting stormed out and called in the middle. But the lights here at this field are going to be a good, well-lit field. But as I mentioned, it's a low light. So here in about 30 minutes when the sun sets and that sky gets that weird color, the high fly balls are going to go up out of the lights, and then outfielders are going to have to concentrate and not lose sight of that ball up in the high sky.
I bet Ryan Harris will trade a little twilight for that bright afternoon sunshine that he has to fight most games out there in right field. Tucker Johnson over at first base, the same. And, of course, Ryan's going to be at second base, and Babb starting out there, and he's shared that right field with Ryan most of the year, and they figured it out. And hopefully it won't be an issue with lighting here this evening. About ready to finish things up here. We are an hour and 10 minutes behind schedule, but I think there's going to be no more. Maybe I would assume probably no player introductions. I would assume we're going right to baseball, and we'll see.
Time for the meeting of the minds. Right?
That is exactly right.
John Duncan behind the plate for tonight's championship game. Brian Tackett, Brandon Fitz in the field. Drew Lowe from Arkadelphia in the green caps, and Scott Johnson, the head coach for Monticello. Got a couple of questions about the green caps in the, between games. Said, yeah, someone was asking me, what's the deal with the green caps? I said, well, if you've watched Badger baseball for a while, you know the story behind the green caps, but they still are a good conversation piece.
Yeah, they are, especially on the day where you're running an hour and an hour and 15 or 20 minutes behind. The material kind of runs slow, so we will go through it again. Badgers started conference play the week of St. Patrick's Day back in March, and players, these days they want to make a fashion statement. We've seen it with, a lot of the different teams having the wacky jerseys and the uniforms and the helmets, and the Badger players, the seniors, decided they wanted a little luck of the Irish, so they went and they got the shamrock green hats with the block A on the front. Even the seniors decided they wanted the little shamrock just to designate being a senior, which none of the other players have. And lo and behold, during the week of St. Patrick's Day, they went 3-0 in conference, made a decision. They're going to keep the caps until they lose, and in conference play, they have not lost a ball game since. So we have green hats again tonight. And as a parent of a senior player, mom's going to get a lot of those pictures taken of her senior son, and everyone seems to have a green hat. So we'll be explaining that for years and years to come, Chris.
No doubt, no doubt. No team in this region is wearing green. There's not a lot in the state in Class 4 that wear green, so it works.
And so,
Blake, we've been on for a while. Somebody who just said, man, they're not going to start for a while. Let's go over those starting lineups again. Arkadelphia is the visiting team, so Arkadelphia will bat first, leading off and playing shortstop, Tate Goodrum. Carter Babb will play right field and bat second. Trip Campbell batting third and playing center field. Senior Jarrett Bell gets a start in left field and bats fourth for the Badgers. Win Pentecost batting fifth and playing third base. Batting sixth and pitching number 6, Donovan Whitten. Katie Young, the designated hitter, batting seventh in the lineup. Tucker Johnson playing first base and batting eighth, and batting ninth and playing second base, Ryan Harris. So Goodrum, Babb, Campbell, Bell, Pentecost, Whitten, Young, Johnson, and Harris to start things off for Arkadelphia against the pitcher for the Monticello Billies, and that is Easton Bird.
And I think we've got one out of place on one of our lineups. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but I think we'll replace Tucker Johnson, I believe, is hitting seventh, and batting eighth will be KD.
There we go.
Sorry about that. See there?
That's how it has been the rest of the day, yeah.
Yep. So Tucker batting in the 7th spot. KD Young is batting in the 8 hole, and Ryan playing second, batting ninth.
Number 10, Preston White. Batting ninth, the pitcher, number 10, Easton Bird.
So Easton Bird is going to get the start on the mound, a right-hander, donning number 20.
Bringing off the top of the first inning for the Badgers, number 1, Tate Goodrum.
7:45, first pitch for tonight's game. So
I'm gonna leave.
Things go good. We'll be done by 10 o'clock. Blake,
I'm gonna let you sit. I'm gonna go ahead and take a stance so I can see that third baseline a little better. Tate starts things off watching a strike, and the Arkadelphia shortstop batting .419 during the regular season. He skies one into right field. That one's going to get foul, but playable for Tucker Breedlove, and he makes the out, going back over to his left side in foul territory. So there is one down here in the top of the first, and Carter Babb, the batter.
Now batting number 22, Carter Babb.
Carter's had a good tournament so far. Worked his way up about mid-season into that second spot in the Arkadelphia lineup. Outside from Bird, high for ball one. Babb from the left side, raising his hand. Anytime he settles in, here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and fastball is by Babb for a 1-1 count. High leg kick, foul back, strike two. Quick delivery by Bird and fair velocity. Looks like he's probably throwing in the high 70s, maybe tapping around 80. And he'll work quick as he gets on the pitching rubber and the windup. And a curveball, and scouting report on Bird says that he's got the best curveball of any of their starting pitchers. If he can get it to work, he may be hard to hit, and Babb gets a piece of one, but it also gets a piece of his ankle. So staying alive at a ball and 2 strikes, and we'll have to walk that one off a little bit. Waiting on deck is Trip Campbell. He'll get a bat here in the bottom of the top of the first. Strike 3, and Babb gets rung up on first strikeout of the day. Here's Campbell. He leads in most offensive categories. .516 average, .585 on base during the regular season. 35 RBIs, 3 home runs, 28 runs. Fouls one back and into the parking lot. Early on, championship game here in Malvern. There's a ball that's going to be hit up the middle, and that was going to get through for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Trip Campbell as he gets the Badgers going here in the top of the first with the first base runner. That'll bring up Jarrett Bell with 2 down here in the first.
Good job by Tripp of staying down on that one. With the barrel on it, right back up the middle for the first base hit of the game.
JB's going to hit one right to the shortstop and an easy flip to second for the putout. And the Badgers go quietly here in the top of the first. .64 the putout as the Badgers are gone.
There were no runs.
Taking the mound once again is Donovan Witten, the junior right-hander. Witten pitched in 26 1/3 innings this year. That's appearances in 13 games. Only 1 start, but he does have 4 wins. He's also picked up a save and 1 opportunity. Given up 16 hits, 13 runs. 10 of those 13 runs were earned. He's walked 14, struck out 31, and has hit 4 batters. He's donning a 2.65 ERA through the regular season. Witten did pitch yesterday. And today he has a full 110 pitches that at his disposal. And things Things getting a little quieter here. It seems to be a little quieter. Yesterday, the ladies were rained out. They weren't able to get their field ready. So today, it's been a lot of activity here in the ballpark as the softball regional just off to our left is usually quite the fanfare. Normally a little more.
Yeah, I believe the Malvern PA crew also had to go over and do the Malvern girls game, and so they're the ones who normally, play the music between innings and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so I wondered, it was kind of quiet.
No kind of to it. It's real quiet
under this speaker here. And we did have the speaker and the girls right at our back for the first game today, and now we are almost hearing the crickets out in the night air. So ready to lead things off is Dorian Allen. He's a center fielder. He'll come up and bat from the right side as he gets things started for the Billies here in the bottom of the first.
Monticello, number 7, Dorian Allen.
So getting the last tip of the cap from Donovan Witten. He toes the rubber and throws first pitch just outside for ball 1. Witten will go from the stretch almost primarily. .6'3" right-hander coming in at 25 pounds. Not exactly sure what he is in the spring. Football weight at about 225 pounds. Foul ball. Count even now at a ball and a strike. Nice off-speed pitch. Catches the strike zone for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes now to the leadoff hitter for Monticello. Bottom of the first. Badgers go quietly in the inning. 1 hit and a runner left on. And here's a shot that's going to get through the right side and into right field. And so there's a leadoff hit for Dorian Allen. So a single in the right side as the Billies on the bases here, and Braden Brown, the designated hitter, will come up, bat second in the inning,
Now batting for Monticello, number 11,
also from the right
Braden
side.
Brown.
Allen did a good job of going down and getting that one going the opposite way. See if they try to force something here, force the issue, whether it's a stolen base or a bunt, to try to get Allen to second base.
We'll see if he steals a base. He's being held on by Tucker Johnson. And strike 1 called to lead things off. In the grass at third, right on the edge of the grass at third is Pentecost. Double play depth up the middle. Johnson holding on Allen at first base. The outfield is straight away. Runner goes off and he's fast. There's a throw that's nowhere close, and Allen's down there in a jiffy, and now at second base. Ball and a strike to Brown. So Allen has stolen himself into scoring position at second. He'll stand right in front of Tate Goodrum, who's going to be deep in the hole, and there's a big bouncing ball to second base. He's got 1 play, and that's to first. The out is 4-3, and the runner advances to third. So doing his job there was Braden Brown, manufacturing a run over to third base. So now with 1 out and a runner at third base, number 3, third baseman, batting in the 3 spot, Cade Piggott is your batter. He stands in from the right side, and Witten needing a pop-up or a strikeout here to keep the runner off from scoring, and he's first pitch strike to Piggott. Still up on the edge of the grass is Pentecost. Getting a lead down the line is Allen. There's a pop-up on the infield, and that is exactly what he needed. Ranging over and making the catch and not advancing the runner. Juice Harris getting over there from second base. He had plenty of time, a little easier catch with a second baseman's glove than it is a first baseman's mitt. So wisely calling off Johnson, and comes over to make the putout for unassisted. And so exactly what Donovan needed right there. Tucker Breedlove now the big first baseman for the Billies here with 2 outs in the inning. There's a shot that's going to get right through the hole under the glove of Pentecost, and one pitch, and Breedlove's got the Billies on the board.
It was a good rip. He went right after that first pitch, right below the belt, turned on it, and was able to get it just just to the right of the outstretched glove of Wynn Pentecost, and to drive in that first run.
John Frost now, the left fielder, will come in with a run across now for the Billies and a base runner at first base. Batting from the left side, the first left-handed batter, and that one gets by Hill, and runner goes to second base, and that one just got by him.
Looks like they're going to have a pinch runner.
That was actually a strike, and it just somehow folded up the mid of Hill. And
looks like they're going to have a pinch runner for Breedlove. Coach Johnson trying to get some speed out there and try to get anything to the outfield to get another run home.
And we have an abbreviated lineup for the Billies, so not sure exactly who that's going to be. Don's number 23, if you're a Billies fan and you know the numbers, know the player by number. Otherwise, he is number 23.
Yep. Lineup from the press box didn't have
no reserves.
All of them, no reserves on the lineup, so kind of going blind. Try to see if we can't find that on there. Nathan Palmer's what the PA.
There we go, Nathan Palmer.
Palmer or Farmer? Palmer, we think.
Well, we're a first name closer than we were. Nathan,
that's
number
right.
23. Frost with a ball and now a strike. So that was not a strike that got by Hill. It was a ball. Ball and a strike now to Frost with a runner at second base.
Palmer, Nathan Palmer.
And a foul back. Left fielder Frost fouls one back to the screen, and so he's in the hole of ball and 2 strikes. Arkadelphia gave up a run in the first inning in the first matchup today, so not something they haven't already seen. The pitch high and missing for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 runs across. Monticello leading 1-0 here, bottom of the first. Championship game in the 4A South Regional. Here's the 2-2. And just missing outside is Witten. Full count now. Palmer's away from second base and letting a little bit off of that one. Just skipping the top of the net behind the screen for another foul ball into the parking lot. Three-two comes set. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and he reared back and got a little extra mustard and blew that one by him. So a strikeout to end the inning, but Monticello plates one here in the bottom of the first, and they lead it 1-0. You're listening to Badger Baseball on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands. Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
So the Badgers will grab the bats here in the top of the second, down 1 run as Monticello plates one in the bottom of the inning. Arkadelphia goes quiet in the top of the first. Pentecost, Whitten, and Johnson due up here in the top of the second. Pentecost batting a healthy .340 during the conference season. 25 RBIs, 19 runs scored,
now
20 hits.
The third baseman, number 7, Wynn Pentecost.
So Wynn steps in from the right side, senior third baseman, starting things off here in the top of the second. First pitch is low and away, ball 1. Arkadelphia dugout starting to come alive a little bit. Ball 2 is low. Arkadelphia looking for only its second base runner of the game. Single back in the first for Trip Campbell, the only damage to the Billies. There's a ball outside and low. Ball 3, so very patient at bat so far by Wynn, and you know, Wynn's really gotten more patient as the year's gone on. He's started out a little bit impatient. There's a strike. Had a little bit of a back leg, throwing his back leg out a little bit. He's fixed it, cleaned it up, and hitting very well here in the back half of the season. Here's a 3-1. Low for ball 4. Arkadelphia with the leadoff runner on. We'll see if Donovan Whitten can help his cause here as he walks to the plate with a runner on and nobody out here in the top of the second. Badgers trailing by 1. Couple of
Now batting for Arkadelphia, number 6, Donovan
hits
Whitten.
on the board for the Billies. Arkadelphia with one of its own, but
Donovan had a nice base hit in his last at bat in the last game, so he can stay right there and string a couple together here.
There's a breaking pitch that breaks just enough for strike 1. Donovan, not what he wanted. Pentecost being held on by Breedlove, and he's going to take the bag on a bunt attempt foul, and he'll have to come back. The bunt run was on, and it was a curveball that didn't quite make it to the plate.
Right, it was outside also, and so that's a tough one to bunt.
So he's quickly in the hole now. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes. Pentecost has to go back to first. He's still with a modest lead over there. There's a check swing ball right back to the pitcher. He's got one play, that's to first, so he basically accomplishes the same thing that he would have with that bunt as a check swing goes back to the pitcher. So 1-3 is the out, but it does advance Pentecost to third.
Well, there you go. That's exactly how they teach fundamental bunting, isn't it?
That's exactly
check
right.
Swing, exact same spot. Nice job by Bird of fielding that one off the mound.
Goes
turning
in the
his
scorebook.
body.
Goes in the scorebook the same, 1-3.
Yeah.
Tucker Johnson taking a borderline pitch, the Billy faithful wanted that one. He did not get it, so 1-0 is.
Billy Goats were gruff on that one.
They were, and nice play.
Thank you.
Nice play.
I hadn't been thinking about it.
I was about to give him a bad here in a minute, but you beat me to it.
They thought that strike call or ball call was bad.
Well, that one does find the strike zone, and Tucker now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Second base is Wynn. The second baseman holding it on, and it opens up just exactly what Tucker normally wants, and that's that open right side. And he's going to bounce one, pop one right up the middle. Got one play, and that is not even going to draw a throw, as the shortstop was converging along with the second baseman, and he just put it right where no one was. And so now the Badgers with runners at the corners and nobody out, as Tucker Johnson finds a hole with an infield single.
Is it a run-saving stop by the shortstop there from Monticello behind the bag? If he's not able to get that ball, Wynn Pentecost is probably scoring on that base hit, but nice stop behind the bag by the Monticello shortstop to keep the runners at first and third.
So KD Young, KD been on fire as of late. He has multiple RBIs in the tournament so far, and he's going to step in now with nobody out and a runner at third not being held on. A runner at first base is Tucker Johnson, and the third baseman playing back a little bit. Place for a bunt, maybe not. He's not playing the bunt, and he's not holding the runner on, so double play depth are the Billies up the middle. And the infield situation really not been much of an issue with KD. He's been putting them in the outfield, so more a position is the outfield.
Late on that swing as the fastball was inside anyway, and KD was late on that on getting around on that one.
The center fielder is shading. That's Allen. Was shading a little bit toward right, and so the scouting report was that KD's rocked that right center field fence a couple of times in the tournament already, and we've got a timeout granted to KD, and
that was
really close there.
Yeah, we didn't like when that was called when we were in the box. I mean, when we were on the mound in the first game, and that was pretty similar right there.
Last second, here's KD 0-2, and he lays off a questionable outside pitch that is ball 1. Easton Bird has gotten himself in a little bit of a jam here with 1 out, and inside pitch is maybe a little low.
Yeah, that was one of those. It was borderline, but I think the way the catcher caught that ball, he turned his glove over and went down, and so that indicated, if nothing else, the umpire that ball was low. And if he catches that, normal and receives it and comes up with it, he might be closer to getting that call.
KD's going to sky one out in the right field. We'll see if that lighting is an issue. Tagging from third is Pentecost. He's going to draw a throw. It's going to be a close play, but he's not in time as the throw is just short and up the line a hair, and sliding around the tag is Pentecost to tie the ball game at 1.
KD does a job. The throw I wasn't watching the throw. I was watching the catcher prepare to receive the ball and watching Wynn come home. And good throw from the right fielder. It was up the line a little bit, so Wynn was able to get around that.
Warren Pennington, the right fielder, did come up with a strong throw, but Pentecost wheels enough to get it in to tie the score. Juice Harris was an RBI machine in the last game, also had a web gem over at second base.
Boy, he climbed the ladder on that one.
Boy, he did. Made a heck of a play to go up the ladder, steal a line drive base hit, and double off the runner at second. He's going to reach his bat out there, and that one is going to be playable for Tucker Breedlove at first, and the Badgers can only tie. But they've hit through the lineup one time and tied the score, so Arkadelphia back even with the Billies here as we travel to the bottom of the second. And the Billies have the 6, 7, 8 hitters up. We're going to take a break here in Malvern. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Do allow me to learn to fight my own battles. Don't try to relive your youth through me.
Do allow me to make mistakes and learn from them.
Don't allow me to quit before I complete the activity. I need to learn perseverance.
Do support me and come to watch me play and perform and be my biggest fan regardless of the outcome.
Don't encourage me to specialize in a specific activity or sport.
Don't talk bad about my teammates and coaches.
Do teach me to respect my coaches, instructors, and officials.
Do understand that education-based activities are more about just winning and losing. They are about learning.
I don't think those commercials are geared toward us, are they, Chris? We're the classiest, fairest two broadcasters in the building most days.
I think it might be geared towards moms and dads, so yes, they would classify as us.
A few shenanigans in the ballpark this weekend, not anything that we can't overcome, and it's brought us to this championship ball game, and it's living up to billing so far. It's knotted at 1 here in the bottom of the second. Warren Pennington, the right fielder, leading things off for the Billies.
Number 9, Warren Pennington.
Swing and a miss. Nice off-speed pitch. Pennington's over the top of it.
You can't see it on camera, but there's somebody perched out there just over the left field wall. I didn't know there was a road back there. That'd be a fascinating place to watch a game at this park.
Yeah, and it looks like he may be in a chair.
Yeah,
I don't know if there
was a car behind him a little bit ago.
Maybe that's a truck out there, or may have a tripod deer stand out there. I'm telling.
I bet he gets different kinds of bugs than we have up here on the concrete.
I bet he is in Bug City. I hope he brought his mosquito spray, because it looks like mosquito town out there. 1 ball and 1 strike now to the left-handed hitting Pennington, right fielder, for the Billies, leading things off here in the bottom of the second. From the stretch, set, strike 2. Right at the knees. John Duncan going to have a little lower strike zone, I believe, than what we were used to in that first outing today. We talked about it being from the lower letters to the upper knee in that first game. This one's going to be from about belt level to just below the kneecap. It's pretty usual for home plate umpire Duncan. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tried to frame it up with Hill. He didn't get the call. It's just a little bit high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Boy, it's turned into a beautiful night.
It has, and it's been a good game here in the early going. Strike 3, even better, as looking and a little, yes, sir.
That was the same pitch that Carter Babb was rung up on by Duncan as well. Breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Did just get word that Henderson State, in its first round game at the GAC tournament, walked off with got a walk-off win 2-1 over UAM. So Washita and Henderson both winning today in the first round of the GAC tournament over at Majestic Park in Hot Springs.
How about that?
Oh.
And a drag bunt attempt is strike 1 for Brooks Bowman, the second baseman. One of 2 Brooks in the lineup here. The other will bat right behind him. Brooks Harvey is the shortstop. He'll bat right after Brooks Bowman. So a couple of strikeouts for Witten. He ended the first inning with a strikeout and begins the second with 1 as well. A time call by Bowman as he steps back. A lefty again. Third lefty in the lineup here for the Billies. Chance to maybe see the right-handed throwing Witten a little better. Ball and a strike.
If you hadn't had a chance to get over to Majestic Park, I was talking to Derek Phillips today, former Badger. He was really hoping to get Arkadelphia over there. I know they tried a couple of dates, but National Park and Champion Christian College both play there on the field, so it never did work out. Nice shot by Donovan. Must have been inside. But it is a gorgeous facility over by the Boys and Girls Club, the old Majestic Park. They've got several youth baseball fields and 1 regulation baseball field. And Derek Phillips was showing me around some of some of his stomping grounds over there today. Beautiful facility.
I have seen it. I have not watched a ball game there, but I have had the guided tour from Derek. I went over one afternoon and visited with him, and he showed me around. And man, he's proud, and rightly he should be. It's a nice, very nice ballpark, and something that City of Hot Springs can be very proud of. You know, minor league may be doing a little shakeup here in Arkansas as the Travelers could be looking for a new home. Just some rumblings going on. Major League Baseball is never satisfied with what they've got, apparently, as far as facilities. And Dickie Stevens in North Little Rock might be the former home of the Travs, and a place there in Hot Springs could be a potential replacement. Count's gone full now to the left-handed hitting Bowman, as there's one out here in the bottom of the second. There's a ground ball hit to Tate Goodrum. He feels it to his left, takes a couple of hops, pats a glove, and throws high, and pulls Tucker off the bag. And so going up the ladder and catching the ball but not able to stay on the bag is Johnson, and so it's an E6 on the board for the second hitter of the ball game. Or excuse me, of the inning for the Billies. And
they put a hit on the board. Interesting.
Brooks Harvey, the shortstop, and that was not a hit, that was an error. And that was a good-looking pitch, but it misses somewhere. Not real sure. He's
broke a little bit too low on that, and broke the snap on Donovan's pants there too. He's not supposed to have that problem. You and I are supposed to have that kind of problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that breaking ball just was a good breaking ball. He just held off, and it started too low in the zone.
Bowman getting a good lead, and that one hit something. Must have been the catcher, because it's not ruled a dead ball.
No,
it did not hit the batter.
Caught Zane's glove, then it caught John Duncan's right leg.
So the runner moves up to second base now on the, looked like a passed ball, and maybe the call. And wanting to make sure that there's no crossing of signals, Hill's going to go out and visit. Looks like Donovan might need to take a loop up in his belt there. Looks like his belt's hanging.
I think when they're on
low.
offense, you know, they have those cards he has to put on that belt, and the pitcher has to take that thing off before they come back out. So if that's where he wears it, he's probably undoing that belt and just didn't quite get it the right rung there.
Once again, not a problem that these little flat bellies have to worry about. Those belts just simply for show. Once you get a little older, they're put to a little better use. A little more required than requested. Ball is fouled back now. 2 balls and a strike as that one gets over toward the right field area of the Ladies Park.
Well, he belted that one down the third baseline.
Some seagulls calling over in the Billies dugout. 3 balls and a strike now. 1 on, 1 out. Bottom of the second, score is tied 1-1 here in the championship game in the 4A South Regional. There's a shot that's going to get right by Juice, and he was kind of in betweener, and there's a shot that's going to get up over the head of Hill. He chases it back. The runner will get to second on the throw, and Monticello is going to score on the base hit, and the runner gets to second on the throw.
Yeah, Juice kind of got caught in no man's land there and went after it and lost his footing. Ball went out to right field. Babb had the throw in just too strong for Hill, and then the throw allowed the runner to get to second base. So now basically they just switch positions, and so now I got the lead back and one out with a runner on second.
And already a pinch hitter, Tristan White, the catcher, was due up, and he's not going to bat. Looks like we're going to have another substitution. Not sure exactly who that is. Number 6 instead of number 10, I believe, or number 8. It's hard to tell. But it is a substitution, and that would be a pinch hitter. Strike one. Number 8 is the batter. Number 10 is Tristan White. He was scheduled to do up. He's yet to see the plate, and he's already been called.
He was expecting fastball on that one. You could just kind of, the only view I have is of him, and he was ready, and then it just kind of buckled him on that breaking ball.
2 runs on 3 hits for the Billies, 1 run on 2 hits for the Badgers. And the second pitch is just a bit outside, and a quick throw down from Hill is just barely late, as the runner was a little out of comfort zone toward third base for Hill, and he zips one down just a little tardy. The 1-1 is fouled out of play on the right side.
A good spot by Donovan. The breaking ball got it. Got just a piece of it to stay, to get it fouled. But it was a good pitch by Donovan.
We'll have to figure out what the situation was with the catcher being pulled.
They just re-enter him defensively, but then that means this batter is burned this early in the game.
Yeah, that's correct.
If he doesn't come out in the field in the top of the third.
Billies are using a DH for the pitcher Bird. We'll see if that plays into the decision here. And two balls, 2 strikes. Runner is away at second base. Goodrum holding him on. Retreating back to his right. High, ball 3. That one's sailing a little on Witten. Count goes full. One in the first, now 1 in the second for the Billies. They lead it 2-1. Threatening here with another runner in scoring position in the bottom of the second. 3-2, and that one's fouled away and out of play.
This is where we were talking about earlier, that sky, the fly ball is going to get above the lights and then come back down the lights. So outfielders on any high fly ball are really going to have to concentrate on that ball right off the bat.
Yeah, and even not just complete sky balls that you might see in Arkadelphia where the light poles are a lot higher. These light poles are not near as high, only about twice as high as the scoreboard, and there's a swing and a miss and a good strike out there for the second out of the inning, and needing that was Witten in the Arkadelphia defense. And back up is Dorian Allen for the second time in as many innings, and he led things off in the first with a leadoff single.
Dorian Allen.
Yeah, just it's interesting. We've got a view of the dugouts. I'm going to see if I can see that pinch hitter getting catcher's gear on, or if they bring the other catcher on. But that, the catcher had not batted yet, and so interesting right there. We'll see how that plays out.
Doesn't look like the batter is putting the gear on. I see him in the dugout over there, and he seems to just be hanging around. So, not real sure. I don't see the catcher.
I see a catcher with his gear on. It's a different guy. So we'll see if that's why it comes back out.
We'll see if that's Tristan White, who's number 10. Ball is low, and third base was.
Yeah, no communication there. Nobody hollered. Wynn was looking at the plate. Nobody hollered runner, and so there was just lack of communication there. Kind of fell asleep there. The infield did, and Wynn was not looking to go to the bag to cover. I think would have had plenty of time, but I believe that's probably why the runner went on that delayed steal. Now a pass ball makes it 3-1.
And a good decision by Hill not to throw it. He was perched and ready to go, and now he's in that Pena stance with a runner at third base, and maybe it's just that it hurts me to see someone squatted down that low, but Witten now falls behind 3-0 to Allen with a runner at the corner. The hot corner, and that's third base. Witten going to step back off the rubber. And they're going to give Allen first base and go ahead and put him on first. So instead of having to work his way back from a 3-0 count, he's going to go ahead and put him on first base in a night where you could actually approach a pitch count. That might be something important with the Badgers saving a pitch or two here and there and putting a guy that burned you earlier in an at bat, go ahead and put him on first base, and he's going to get halfway to second before and so the Billies pull a little razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, that was a
Little
design
League
from
there.
That was a design from the get-go, and we notice our with that net starting to blow, our picture's going to get blurry, and we'll try to fix that. But they walked Allen, and then he was trying to get hung up in the middle and allow that run to score from third, and that's exactly what happened. And so
they sacrificed.
They stole it. They stole the run.
Yeah, they did steal a run. They were going to give Allen second base, and he fooled him into not doing it, and the runner from third base scores before the tag is made. So it's 3-1 now, and we'll see if that's an important run. Comes back to haunt the Badgers. So we go to the bottom of the third, the top of the third. Badgers gave up one, got it back in the top of the second. They've given up two now in the bottom. We'll see if they can respond in the top of the third. And they've batted through the lineup, so we'll go back to the top. Goodrum, Babb, and Campbell. And Campbell, the only one to see the base paths on the first go-around. We'll see if things pick up for the top half of the Arkadelphia lineup here as we go to the third. Back out for another inning of work is pitcher Bird. And so we've got apparently the catcher is number 10. So apparently the catcher going to come back on defense.
Yep, so that sub was burned for a strikeout.
There's just a dribbler, and it's going to work the same as a bunt. And getting into first base is Goodrum. He goes in head first again, not even drawing a throw. Need some communication over there from our.
They're going to ask if it was foul. Coach Johnson's going to ask if he'll go out and appeal that see if it was a foul ball.
I'm not sure why the umpire at second base would see it cleaner than the home plate umpire, but we'll see what they say as they converge in the infield. But as it stands, Arkadelphia is going to have a runner at first base and nobody out. He is safe, and so it is for the second time, it's just a check swing almost. Dribbler out in front of the plate, and it's got a runner at first base, and this time with nobody out, it's going to be ruled an infield hit.
Yeah, apologize for the picture. Not a whole lot we can do. The lights have gone down, and so the focus is going to be on that net. We'll just try to see if we can make something happen.
Carter Babbs watches ball. First pitch, strike one, is an off-speed pitch that floats right in the strike zone.
It's the same one that he was called out on in the first.
Slight lead at first base is Goodrum. He's being held on by Breedlove. He's going to get to second, and he jumps. The throw is down and not in time. It goes into center field, but not enough on it as the center fielder, Allen, is coming in on the charge to back the throw up, and into second base with a stolen base is leadoff hitter Tate Goodrum. So now an Arkadelphia runner in scoring position, nobody out, and the Badgers threatening here in the top of the third.
He called a strike on that. He said Carter offered at it and didn't pull back.
So Duncan home plate umpire Duncan having a conversation with Drew Lowe, and Drew doesn't like the response. He gives him the never mind.
Yep, so 0-2 is the count.
So everybody in the ballpark, including the scoreboard operator, thought it was ball one.
Well, Carter lunged across, and so that's when Duncan said that he went.
So he's 0-2, runner in scoring position. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's going to be hit out into left center field. Going over and covering is the left fielder, and he makes a good catch. That is Frost, ranging to his left, and he makes the play in front of the 335 for out number 2. Or excuse me, that's out number 1.
Yep.
Campbell now, he's single back in the first and was left on base. We'll see if he's got another single in him. If so, it could score an Arkadelphia run.
Coach Johnson just called for the outfielders to shade him to pull significantly, except for the left fielder. Now he moves over.
Tripp going to bleed one to the right side. The first baseman is off the bag, nobody covering, so he's going to beat it to first base. A dribbler on the right side. Going after it was the pitcher and the first baseman, Breedlove, nobody covering, and so into first is Tripp.
Tripp, a big sigh of relief, and just kind of shake his head. You're 2 for 2. Doesn't matter how you get there, but that was in the exact right spot that it had to be.
So having to come off to his left was the pitcher. He's not able to get there. Bird isn't. Charging out was Breedlove from first, and it left the bag unoccupied, and Tripp's fast enough to get there. So JB up now with an out and runners at the corners. We'll see if he can drive in runs here and put the Badgers on the board in the third. Open stance from the right side. From the stretch, here's Bird. Swung on and missed at a breaking ball, and that was not even close. Settles in. Digs back in for another. We'll see if Bird stays with the off speed or mixes it up. And he goes high, and Bell fouls it back. So a couple of different pitches with the same result. 0-2 is the count now, and ball in play would be almost a guaranteed run here. And it's going to get popped up and not going to have room. It's going to get about 3 rows up into the bleachers off the left side. And so JB will come back and get a chance to do it again.
That is a tough play for that catcher to try to make. Nice effort from the catcher and the pitcher. The wind is blowing in, and so that helped that. That catcher's running down that hill.
It is blowing straight in, and everything inside the third and first base bags.
This pitch is coming low.
He's disappearing. Yeah, the field's disappearing. Here's the 0-2 to JB. And it's high. Into second base goes Campbell. So now the force is off.
Well, and the pitcher missed his spot there. Coach Johnson gave the catcher the signal to keep that low in the dirt. And Bird just missed, and that was not low.
We'll see if Bird goes back to the off-speed breaking pitch. Fooled Bell badly on the first pitch of the at-bat. We'll see if he goes back there or if he tries to get a fastball up and by him. He comes set. Runners at second and third getting their leads. And Bell's going to put that one in play. It's going to get to the shortstop. He's got one play, and it's high against the fence. 1 run will score. Goodrum in, and Bell is on with an error. The shortstop, and Bell's reaching on an E6 and an RBI for Jarrett. Good at bat there, and
so we're even, and both E6 on both. Both led to a run. That gives a run for Arkadelphia, and now the Badgers have runners at the corners with Wynn Pentecost coming up to bat.
And Billy's coach is going to go out and have a meeting with his infield, and it looks like he is not a happy camper as a mistake that was an unforced error there that's put not only a runner on base, another run across for Arkadelphia. It's 3-2 now, and the Badgers threatening still with just 1 out here in the inning and runners at the corners once again. And the Billy's coach looked like he was on a mission. He was walking out there.
Coach Johnson's high energy, man. He was high energy when he was at Star City, 8-9 years ago, and I saw him yesterday on a walk-off hit, jump up and give one of those high jump chest bumps. And so he is a high energy coach, and he hadn't changed in the last 10 years.
His legs look kind of like the Roadrunner in those cartoons where he's trying to get away from the coyote as he walked out there to meet his infield. And Wynn Pentecost now with the runners at the corners. Trip over at third, JB at first. There's one that's going to hit the catcher, and that was a break for the Billies, as that could have been a.
Oh, the coaches think that they hit the bat. They didn't hit the bat; it hit your catcher. Yeah, coach. Or a swing.
That was a bat that hit the catcher up. That hit every piece of equipment the catcher has on.
I don't know if Coach Johnson was asking if it was a swing or if it was a foul ball, but nevertheless, Brian Tackett down at first base says no.
No way. 1-0, and Bell goes into second base. There's a shot down, foul, way out of play down the right field line, and even a fly ball to deep center field is going to score one here as the Badgers have narrowed it to 3-2.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's been a long day for the scoreboard operator. We'll see if he can put one in play, and he does. He puts it down to the right side. It's going to get to the second baseman. He's got one play, and that's the Breedlove. And the Billy first baseman is ran over. He's in the line of
Coach Johnson's going to
play.
come
We're
back.
going to see.
Coach Johnson's going to come back to check on Tucker Breedlove.
Just checking on him.
He's good.
Didn't think it was anything malicious. It was a play that drew Tucker back into the baseline from his second baseman, who was ranging hard to his left, and Tucker overcompensated a little bit at first base, and he's going to check with the umpire, make sure he's okay, make sure it wasn't anything that no spikes involved or anything malicious, and apparently was not, just a hard play. But it does play to run, and Arkadelphia has tied this one at 3.
Yeah, still 3-1 on the board, but
on a sacrifice
3-3
from Wynn Pentecost.
Number 6, Donovan Whitten.
Bell goes to third, and so the go-ahead run is 90 feet away for the Badgers. And Donovan Whitten at the plate. Whitten just gets out in front of that one a little bit. And he knows that's one he missed. He looks over at his dugout and gives him a woo, that one.
Yeah.
I'd like to have that one back, and we'll see if Bird gives him another offering like that. JB over at third, and there's a shot that's going to be hit deep out into left field. It's going to get down. JB will score into first base and another RBI for the Badgers in the inning, and they take the lead 4-3 on a 2-out single in the left field by Donovan Whitten, and Chris, he squared that one up. And if that one would have had a little more launch angle on it, that one might have hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, that was the most solid contact we've seen from Donovan. Fastball got left up. Donovan turned on it. It had some curve on it. It had some, some rotation where that was hooking away from that left fielder. So left fielder, even if it had hung up in the air, he's playing it. He's playing into, almost not straightaway left, but it was hooking. And that was a great hit by Donovan. Nicely well-struck ball, probably the best one we've seen from him in a few games.
Seeing some of that raw power that he has and squaring up. Here's Tucker Johnson. He's going to come up with a runner at first, high inside offering for ball one, and a couple of first base Tuckers. Tucker Johnson for the Badgers, Tucker Breedlove for the Billies in that collision just a play ago with Pentecost, and able to hang on for the out. So a couple of seniors. Got a Missouri Tiger Tucker and an Arkansas Razorback Tucker.
That's right.
Tucker Johnson going to Mizzou in the fall. Tucker Breedlove going to the University of Arkansas. Long trip for either of those young men. 1-1, and the ball is skipped in the dirt out in front of the catcher for ball two. Whale of a ball game here in the championship game from Malvern. 4A South Region championship ball game, 4-3 Arkadelphia. It's been back and forth. Badgers for their first lead of the ball game, and Tucker's going to hit that one to second baseman. Quick flip to the shortstop for the third out, and 4-6 is the put out, and the Badgers are done here in the top of the third, but they do take the lead 3-2 over the Billies. You're listening to Arkadelphia baseball in the championship game of the 4A South region. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music and we talked. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic. Your honesty gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted in my own life.
And I wanted you to know, from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now, that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, in whatever you do.
Talk, they hear you.
So we return for the bottom of the third inning. Morrison Park here in Malvern. Arkadelphia taking the lead here in the top of the third with 3 runs on the board. They've taken a 4-3 lead here over the Monticello Billies. 2 number 1 seeds battling it out here, as you'd expect no less from 2 very storied programs, Monticello and Arkadelphia. A couple of college towns, Monticello down in Drew County, county seat, home of the UAM Boll Weevils. Arkadelphia, obviously Henderson and Ouachita, both having a great day in the GAC conference, both picking up wins. Henderson actually getting a win over those Boll Weevils in opening round play of the GAC.
Former Ready coach John Harvey lived in Arkadelphia for a while. Kids went to Arkadelphia schools before they moved to Monticello, and he was replaced by his assistant Cody Hooten.
Brendan Brown, he grounded to the second baseman to start, or back in the first inning for the first out. He'll bat here in the bottom of the third. Billies are the home team. They are the top of the bracket, the number 1 seed from the 4-8. Badgers, the number 1 seed from 4-7. And the way the bracket worked out, they're the top half of the bracket. They are the home team. One time the Badgers have been in the visiting dugout this weekend. Ball 1 to designated hitter. Strike 1. Pumping in a strike is Witten there to even it at 1-1. Four runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for Arkadelphia. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error for the Billies. And a nice, took a little bit off there. It is an off-speed pitch, not quite a curveball, just a little bit of a change up there, and it freezes Brown, and he's behind 1 ball and 2 strikes in the count. Looking in for the sign, getting it from Hill. Comes set, goes to his belt, kicks the knee high. Ball is hit foul just down the right field, down the right first base line, just to the right of the line.
Nicely fielded by Blake Wynn, the assistant coach.
Coach Johnson over in the third base box. Coach Wynn in the first base box for the Billies. Ball and 2 strikes now as Witten comes set, and that one gets away high and runs it even. 2 balls, 2 count. And Witten will step off, and Witten comes in and hits that one to third base, charging and making a play. A quick throw over is Pentecost. And a little airplane movement as he goes back, enjoying himself. And
only as Wynn can. The exact opposite of the elder Pentecost.
And I tell you, these Badgers have been fun to watch, and a lot of the reason that they are fun to watch is because they're having fun. And
well, Wynn's going to have fun.
And he's going to have fun, that is for
Wynn's
sure.
Wynn's going to have fun.
So Brown here in the third is going to go down 5-3, and Pentecost got his money's worth as he celebrates and gets an attaboy from the Billies bench. Cade Piggott now, he popped up to the second baseman back in the first inning. We'll see.
That would have been a strike in the first game. Different, the higher zone. It's not. This is more what we're used to, and that's not normally something you see called a strike, and that was indeed called a ball.
Temperature dropping a little bit.
Yes,
down
it
in
is.
71 degrees is what the thermostat's showing, or the weather app's showing, and breeze keeping it even maybe a little lower than that. Well, our fan out there in left center field has either given up to the mosquitoes or he's found a better vantage point, because
he might have fallen in a hole.
Elvis has left the building, or at least he's left the left center field wall. There's a pitch, starts out just a little too low to hang on, and it's 3 balls and no strikes now.
Good spot from Donovan. Good discipline from the batter not to go after that.
DeWitt needed to start it a little higher to get it to disappear into the strike zone, but here's the 3-0, and that's taken for strike 1. Cade Piggott, third baseman, 3-1 count, steps in from the right side. We'll have that one taken just a little outside for ball 4, and he draws a 1-out walk. And so Breedlove, who singled and drove in the game's first run back in the first inning, we'll see another at bat here in the third.
First pitch he saw from Whitten, he pulled into left field, just out of the outstretched glove of Wynn Pentecost. Breedlove calls time.
Breedlove, the first baseman, who got tangled up over in the last half inning with Wynn, and he's okay. Big, strong, tall-looking young man. Ball and no strikes. Runner at first base. Witten going to take a step back and tell the Monticello faithful wanting this thing to get going. They've got a long drive ahead of them, a lot longer than the Badgers do. 25 miles down I-30, a long way to Drew County from here. 2 balls and no strikes to the cleanup hitter for the Billies. Witten comes set. Runner's off, and he fakes. Got a real heavy jump over there from first base, but he did not go, and so ball is called strike. 2-1. Witten comes set. Throw over to first, not in time. Now he's off and running. There's a ball that's hit out into center field. It's going to be tracked and caught by.
Got him!
Got him. Oh my
no.
goodness. Wow. And the Badgers are going to come out of the dugout over in center field. A nice play out there from Trip Campbell, and he made a hose of a throw. And he says that he pulled him off the bag. And that's
a great shot by Tripp. Tucker catches the ball on one hop, the dive in, and
wow.
Umpire calls him safe. That was a tough play. It was a great job for Tripp to make that one close. That was a tremendous throw. He circled around behind it. You know, he's playing center field. He's having to throw that ball across the body. He turned, he circled around behind it, still was able to come up on it and make that strong throw, one hop to Tucker. Apologize for my yell of got him, but I sure wanted that one.
Host a gaggle of players here from the left side is going to be started by John Frost, not Jack Frost. That's cool, but not that cool yet. So 2 outs now, that runner, and he's off again, and he's going to draw a throw down from the catcher Hill, and it's just to the left of the bag and a little bit offline, or it looked like it might have been in time, as the base runner goes into second base. And going to be some Monticello mommies and daddies that are going to have to get the spray and wash out.
Man, that is
tonight.
That's going to be tough. They're going to have to go to a car wash.
So it's a strike on the pitch.
You ever taken pants to the car wash and just clipped them up there like rugs? And
certainly have. I've done that. I've done it with a pressure washer at home. I'm not going to say that I do it often, because even though my wife's not listening or watching, she probably has someone that is, that could call me down on off that good deed that I'm patting myself on the back for, that I might do once or twice a year.
I didn't ask if you do it all the time. I asked if you ever have.
I've done it before.
There you go.
I went too far with the answer. Big swing and a miss. A nice breaking pitch in there, and he's got Frost way out in front of it as it disappears into the dirt for strike 2. So a strike away from getting out of the inning for the first time without Monticello scoring a run. That would be a nice hold of serve here in the inning as Arkadelphia has taken the lead.
Big lead at second. He'd score on a base hit.
And a big cut there as Frost got his money's worth. That one's going to skip over. Might have got a piece of Zane. Home plate umpire going to go out and give him a second to make sure he's all right. Zane says, I'm good.
I don't remember Johnny wearing that that helmet like that in the past. Has he worn that every game?
I don't think so.
He just bust that out for postseason.
I think so. That looks like something that I don't think so. I think he's actually may even have the hockey helmet. Has he got? I don't know if he's. I don't
It's
know.
a baseball helmet.
No,
it's got the MLB logo on the back. I'm going to ask him about that.
That's a. I've spent a lot of time at the scores table at Southern Bancorp Field, and I don't remember seeing that. But stranger things have happened. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to the 5-hole hitter, John Frost. He struck out back in the first to end the inning, and he's up for the second time here in the third, and Donovan trying to get him to end the inning again. Arkadelphia faithful hanging on here in numbers. Good tournament, as are the Billy fans. It's been a good weekend here from Malvern, and this is the crown jewel. And strike 3 looking, and Donovan has worked his way out of a runner at second base and the first scoreless inning, and Arkadelphia does hold serve and now takes the lead into the top of the 4th, 4-3. And we're approaching the halfway point here in the championship game. Billies and Badgers here from Malvern in the 4A South Regional Tournament. You're listening to Badger Baseball. We'll be right back after this.
Oh, hey, bud.
Oh.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
It's a school night. With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
Not sure about those two. I've been meaning to ask you. This is tougher than I thought. Is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
I hope not, because alcohol can lead you to say things and do things that you really wish you hadn't. Isn't this what you're supposed to say?
I know.
So if any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you.
Ryan.
Yeah?
So start the conversation even before they're teenagers.
Good idea.
For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Well, I told you I'd be busted, and I'm already busted on the pants thing. All right. I know who you are, and to clarify, the question was, have I ever?
Yeah.
Not do I
I
often.
didn't say do you all the time.
Speaking of all the time.
Someone's just trying to curry favor with Meredith.
That's no good. Speaking of all the time, one guy that has been doing it all the time this weekend is KD Young, and he's going to be the first batter at the top of the 4th for the Badgers. And KD with a sacrifice back in the 2nd inning for the Badgers. And he put them on the board to start the Badger scoring. The pitch from Bird. It's going to be fouled away long and a long way out of play. A long, loud strike down the right side.
Again, if you're watching, you're saying, man, this camera's terrible. It's not the camera's fault. The wind and the net, and that's about as close as we can put it without it being dangerously close to being hit. Can't put it back any farther because then people will walk in front of it. It was clear the last half inning. Maybe it'll clear up again.
KD continues to fight it off to the right side and trying to take one opposite field. He's been wearing out that right center field gap out there where the Leopards logo or where the Leopards are. The word Leopards is painted out there just to the left of the 335 alley marker. And a ball and 2 strikes now as he continues to go opposite field with power. We'll see if he can continue.
Setting up outside.
Oh, he got him to chase up and high, and he knows he did. And so it goes down for first Badger out of the inning here in the top of the 4th.
Boy, he set up outside, but he really missed his spot. Earlier in the last inning, we said Coach Johnson had tried to get a ball low, and Bird missed the spot there too. Missed that spot. It paid off for him. He got KD to chase, but Missed the spot where the catcher was calling for the ball. Hit that one, though.
Yeah, he did. Juice has been up, and he's 0 for 1 today, or in this game. Not today, big game in the first game. Oh, and he swings at a really low outside breaking pitch there. So Harris now behind 0-2, and Bird got him guessing here in the fourth. Bird working all over the zone and getting Badgers to chase. Not going to chase that one, and fool me once. Shame on you, fool me twice. Not happening right now with Ryan. Ball and 2 strikes, though, as the senior second baseman is in the hole and fouls that one back into the woods behind us over the press box here at Morrison Park. And back to the top of the lineup, Goodrum. He singled his last time up. He'll get an at-bat here in the fourth. And there's a shot. He's got to be patient with it. He puts it into left field, and it's going to be a one-out single.
Well, I tell you what,
left field.
That was the exact same way Donovan Whitten hit the ball, and give credit to the left fielder. He kept that from being a one-out double, putting Ryan Harris in scoring position. He did a nice play going to his right, catching that ball that was tailing away from him. That ball was about 5 feet from skipping to the fence.
So a nice piece of hitting there on the 1-2 count is the second baseman Ryan Harris, as he's going to be the first runner of the top of the fourth with 1 out. Here's Tate Goodrum. He singled his last time up back in the third. He's 1 for 2 today, or in this game. Ball and no strikes to the Badger shortstop. He's looking at Harris over at first. He's getting a lead and another secondary. Pretty hard jump. There's a shot to the shortstop. He's going to flip to second. He is in time, and to first not in time. A closer play than probably what the Billies would have liked at second base, but they get Harris, the lead runner, and now with 2 aboard, Babb comes in with a fielder's choice put out here for the second out of the inning.
Number 22, Carter Babb.
Babb flew out to the left fielder back in the third inning. Struck out looking earlier in the game. Swing and a miss. That one stays up high, and
that high fastball must just look like a beach ball. Katie's had trouble hanging up. Had trouble laying off of it, and just got Carter to go after the same.
Nice piece of pitching. The scouting report on this young man was his curveball, but he's been more effective, I think, with that high fastball, and he does go up again, and going into second, the throw is in, and a little bit of an awkward slide in there. It looked like he might have hooked his way around the back of the bag. Not sure if
Coach
he got
Johnson going to try to come out and talk to John about ask another question. Goodness, he said he's outside of the camera.
What is it now?
He's asking. He's thinking Carter had jumped over and caused interference, and he's not liking it. But Coach Johnson's he's going to try to get He's going to try to get something.
Well, Tate goes in to steal the bag. It's a 1-1 count to Carter. 2 outs now, and now the catcher's going to go out and talk to the pitcher.
Or did they call trying to figure out what the count is?
Well, we can't go by what the scoreboard says because it's been wrong most of the afternoon, but apparently they're going to call it a strike on Babb.
Well, no.
Or load. It's not.
It's a 1-1 count. It was 0-1, and that was the ball. And Coach Johnson was thinking he dove across to interfere with the catcher.
The 1-1 pitch sails high and outside, so to the left-handed hitting Babb, that one is not fishing, so 2 balls and a strike now. Badgers, a couple of outs here in the inning already and a runner in scoring position.
A lot of room in left center. Center fielder shading him to pull just a bit.
There's one that's going to get by. Tate going to go into third. Is he getting there? And he doesn't even
wow.
draw a throw. Looked
Wow.
like he had him dead to rights, and the catcher, not sure what happened there. It seems like the catcher may be nursing a little bit of a sore finger, maybe a blister on his throwing hand, and he's just not comfortable coming up with that throw. And so Tate's into third base now without a throw, and it's a 2-ball, 1-count strike to Babb.
3-1.
3-1.
Board is right.
Board is right. Oh, and he was trying to squeeze. And Babb could not get the ball down. It was a high pitch, nothing he could do with it. He fouls it luckily up and out of play, so he'll get a chance at a 3-2 offering now. And going back to third is Goodrum.
Yep, went with the suicide squeeze. Tate broke. Carter has to do something with that, and it was high, so he had to foul it.
So he gives up a strike now. It's 3-2 with 2 outs. And he's going to pop that one up on the infield. It's going to get back, and it may be trouble coming in as a left fielder. He leaves his feet for some reason right there at the end. And I think the night air might have knocked that one down a little quicker than he anticipated.
Yep.
Nonetheless, he's able to make the play, so it's 7 unassisted for the third out of the inning.
In the top of the 4th inning for Arkadelphia, there were no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base.
And that was a close one there. Coach Lowe wanted that one. Looks like both the home plate, or excuse me, both the head coaches are filling the officials full of opinions.
Coach Lowe wanted that one. He called for the squeeze. Carter gets the bunt down. He's going to have a chance to beat that out. But the fastball was called high, and I think after Coach Lowe, after that play was made, he looked over at Coach Johnson and said, yep, you got that one, because I don't know if Coach Johnson called for the pitch up or if it was just thrown there, but it ended up working out for the Billies.
So now Coach Johnson out to give his 2 cents worth between innings as Witten goes back out.
Well, he's still asking about that, the attempt, the bunt attempt from
Carter
Babb in that last at bat. He takes a lot of steps during the game.
He does, and they're at anything but a snail's pace. He moves around with a purpose. Throwing down here, we'll start the bottom of the 4th. And leading things off here will be Warren Pennington, the right fielder. He struck out looking in the 2nd. So a couple of back-to-back scoreless halves as Badgers failed to score in the top of the 4th. We'll see if the Billies will return the favor here in the bottom as DeWitt starts off the batter with a off-speed strike.
Pinch hitter here for Monticello to start the bottom of the 4th, Lane Hayden.
So the Billies going to empty the cupboard here in the middle innings. That one got Zane in the undercarriage there somewhere. Seems to be okay. Apparently not a vital part of the undercarriage.
John Duncan gives him a whoo.
Yeah. Anytime the ball disappears under your catcher and you hear it not hit padding, that's cause for concern. Hill's okay. No balls and 2 strikes now to the pinch hitter. Donovan, deep breath, coming. Strike 3, looking. And a nice start to the inning for Witten, as once again he ends an inning with a strikeout looking and starts the next inning with a strikeout looking. Brooks Bowman.
Back to that lefty part of this lineup. These pitchers, both Bird and Witten, have had success with the breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. See if you come to it early or late, but most likely going to go to it at some point. Maybe you go early and late.
Bunt attempt is
that caught the other part of the undercarriage.
Back to Hill, and he is able to knocks it down the third baseline just a little bit. And long day for catchers. Anytime you catch 2 7-inning games in high school championship baseball, you're going to get your money's worth. And Zane Hill has gone the entire way for the Arkadelphia Badgers, not just in postseason, but the entire year. 0-1 is the count. 1 out in the inning, nobody on. Badgers holding on to a 4-3 lead. As we play in the bottom of the 4th inning in the championship game of the regional. He squares to bunt again, gets the bat back just in time. Crashing in from third was Pentecost. The count even now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Pentecost remains on the grass at third. Everyone back at normal depth in the infield. The outfield is straight away.
He's got a text from a parent with a screenshot of the Apple Watch that gives you the message, even a minute of breathing helps you think clearly. If that's any indication of what the mood is here at this championship game. 1-run game, bottom of the 4th.
It's met its expectations so far, and pumping a strike in there is Witten. And, you know, Witten's got 4 wins on the year, but only 1 start, and so he's used to coming in out of the bullpen, or at least into the ball game later. He doesn't usually in the defensive mix, but starting a ball game is a different animal, and he's taking care of business so far as the 2nd strikeout of the inning. And Bowman goes down, and so Brooks Harvey now, another lefty in the lineup. He singled and drove in a run his last time up. His only time up back in the 2nd. So Witten starting to come into his own here in the middle innings, looking for his 2nd straight scoreless inning. And he starts him off with a changeup for strike 1.
That breaking ball to left-handed batters has been there all day on that outside part of the plate.
They can see it. They just don't feel like it's going to come across enough to catch the black, and the home plate umpire is giving them that outside. There's one that's going to get scorched down and fouled down the left side. It's going to hit top of the fence, foul territory, and the batter's quickly in the hole 0-2.
Those red bugs just got your ankle, didn't it?
Something bit me. Something bit me. Oh, and something almost bit number 26. It was almost a called 3rd strike. DeWitt wanted it. He didn't get it. It was really close, but just off the plate enough. And
yeah, you're not going to get outside and inside.
Witten long stare in. He comes set to the glove. And the ball is outside. Ball 2 now.
And you're not going to get that far outside.
Not going to get that far outside.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes now. Nobody on. Bottom of the 4th. Excuse me, bottom of the 4th. My camera's starting to blur a little bit too. This ball that's hit just to the left or to the right of the 3rd baseman, Pentecost. Up with it. And a hard throw into short is Bell from left. So a 2-out, 2-strike single out into left field under the diving Win Pentecost at 3rd base. Is life for the Billies.
Yep, Win just leaned to his left and then had to come back to the right. Just a hair off of that one. Good effort Just went the opposite field, and that was tailing away from him. Nice job by Jarrett Bell of getting over there and cutting that ball off, getting it in, holding Harvey to a single.
So White, the catcher, will have his first at bat. He was pinch hit for back in the second inning. So this is his first at bat of the ball game. And he's going to bunt one harmlessly back to the pitcher. 1-3 is the put out. And the Badgers get out of this one for the second scoreless inning in a row.
Thank you.
And keep the lead as we go to the top of the fifth. Badgers 4, Billies 3. We'll be back with championship baseball on Arkadelphia, BadgerTV.com.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands. Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
Back for the start of the fifth inning. Arkadelphia has held the Billies scoreless the last two halves of the inning after giving up a run in the first, 2 in the second. Badgers were held scoreless in the first. They scored one in the second, 3 in the third, and lead it 4-3 as we go to the top of the fifth. Here in the championship game of the 4A South Regional. Winner will get a bye into the second day of the state tournament, which would be a week from yesterday in Nashville, as only one in this South region will get a bye, and that's the champion. The runner-up, not so lucky, they'll have to play on Thursday as well. So a lot at stake for these two number one seeds coming in. The Badgers from the 4A7, the Monticello Billies from the 4A8. Trip Campbell will lead things off for the Badgers here in the fifth. And he's 2 for 2 today with a couple of singles. We're going to have a little delay in the action as we've got a vehicle that is pointing right at the field of play with headlights on, and now we've got a couple more that have decided to light things up.
Bringing off the top of the fifth inning for the Badgers, number 12, Trip Campbell.
So we're going to take a little break in the action and turn some headlights off here, and we got one to cooperate. Now we're going to have one that's way down the street there that has got headlights that'll light up LaGuardia Airport. You see these new vehicles with these LED lights, and you think they're bright coming down the road at you. You ought to be standing on third base trying to field the ball. Looks like we've got the problem solved. Campbell started this tournament off a little bit slow, but he has come on and has been on fire here in a couple of singles today, looking to add to it and get things started for the Badgers here in the fifth. He looks at an outside breaking pitch for ball one. Here's the 1-0 to Campbell. It's outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Tripp didn't get a whole lot to hit earlier in the day. He walked 3 times. Today he's taken advantage of what pitches he's gotten. There's a pitch that just catches the inside for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to the Arkadelphia center fielder. Last game of the day, and it's the big one. Sailing high and outside for ball 3, and Tripp looking to get on. We'll see if he's got a 3-1 green light here for the Badgers. Once again, we apologize for the glaring lights at the screen, but ball 4. Tripp's going to get down to first base with a leadoff walk. And And Jarrett Bell going to come up. He reached on an error from shortstop back in the third.
Now batting number 8, Jarrett Bell.
So we'll see if the green light's going to be on for Tripp to steal a base and possibly get into scoring position. We'll see if JB's got an early green light here as Bird comes set. And he's got a high fly ball out into left field, settling under it and looking like a can of corn as it is. And so one pitch, and he skies that one into left field, not able to advance the runner. So Bell is 0 for 2 on the day.
Not many hits for either team. The
No,
board has
surely
4
not.
runs on 5 hits for Arkadelphia, 3 runs on 4 hits for Monticello.
Wynn has a sacrifice and a base on ball, so not even a recorded at bat today, but has been on base and moved a runner along. So with Tripp over at first base and 1 out, we'll see if Lou can put the Badgers in the scoring column here in the 5th. And he takes a looping, almost an ephus pitch there for strike 2 or strike 1. Ball, a strike, and out, and a runner on. High, ball 2. That one got way up and out of the zone. And
if he had gone on that one, that would have been a base as that breaking ball bounced before. Brount's in front of the plate. Nice job by the catcher of getting in front of that one.
Bird's thrown 74 pitches so far. He's faced 48 batters, still with a lot of pitches left to go. That one is a swing and a miss. It looked like it might have got the catcher and got Johnny Duncan behind the plate as well. So catcher going to go out and burn a deep breath or two. And we are seeing some tape on the fingers, and I know that's probably tape for the sign, but it's also causing some irritation to that catcher for the Billies. As you can tell, he's favoring those fingers. Might be a situation on bases, being able to throw the ball down. He's nursing that right throwing hand a lot. I'm sure that tape's rolling up there after a couple of after several innings, but base runners now for Arkadelphia at first and second. Tripp down to second, a walk. The second walk of the day issued to Pentecost, and big old DeWitt hit one really hard back in the third. We'll see if he can do it here in the 5th. And a time's asked for and granted by Witten. Fans a little restless and wanting to get, but this is a big ball game, a big spot in the ball game, middle innings here, top of the 5th, 1-run ball game. A lot can happen, and no one wants to make a mistake. And there is a nice bunt that's going to get the runners to second and third. The out at first is the second out of the inning. And so a 1-3, sacrificing runners over to second and third, and Tucker Johnson. No. Let's see. No, that's the second out of the inning.
Yeah.
Bell was the first out as he flew out to left field. That's the second out. So
yeah, 2 outs.
2 down now. I'm hoping that we understand. I'm assuming our coaches know that there's 2 because the scoreboard is wrong. There's the second out. Tucker now with a chance to cushion the lead with a base hit here in the top of the fifth. And he's going to do just that as he hits it out into right center field. 1 run will score. Coming around, 2 runs will score. Sliding in is Lou, and the Badgers have broke it open here in the top of the fifth.
Tucker Johnson did it last night. He's done it again tonight. Just first pitch, went with it, and that was a huge 2-out, 2 RBI single to center field for the senior first baseman. Tucker just went with that one. Man.
How about that? Nice play. Very patient. He did it early in the at-bat. He didn't need a lot of pitches.
Monticello, third baseman, is looking right into these lights behind us. We're trying to get them to cut them. Yeah. Bobby Cobb going to go see if they might cut those lights.
6-3 now. Arkadelphia plates 2 here in the fifth, and they've doubled up the Billies.
Monticello third. There we go. Oh.
KD with a hack there.
Catcher took that one.
KD with a sacrifice and a strikeout back in the fourth. He bats here in the fifth. As the Badgers have brought their 6th batter of the inning to the box, and with 2 outs, Tucker Johnson emptied them, and there's strike 3, and that was not a good looking at bat for KD. But Tucker Johnson plates 2 for the Badgers, and they've broken this one open, doubling up the Billies here as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And to the top of the lineup we go for Monticello here in the bottom of the 5th. We are going to take a break, so we will be back here in 30 seconds from Malvern. You're listening to Badger Baseball on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
Back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Arkadelphia extends its lead to 6-3 with 2 runners with a 2-out RBI double, or excuse me, 2-out, 2 RBI single by Tucker Johnson, and the senior first baseman has give Arkadelphia a little bit of breathing room here as we get back to the top of the inning. Allen has singled and walked here in the game, and he bats here in the bottom of the 5th. He's a leadoff batter and center fielder for the Billies. Bats from the right side. Stole a base as well. Here's the pitch, and just disappearing enough off the edge for ball 1.
Yeah, started that breaking ball right in the middle of the zone, dropped down a little bit too much.
And there's strike 1. Witten's thrown 79 pitches, so he's still got a few to go. Bird's thrown 81 through 5 innings.
Allen knew that one. He both started with the breaking ball, comes back with a fastball, and just kind of locked Allen up right there.
1-1 is low, ball 2. Coach Johnson not getting enough support out of that dugout over there. He's giving them a little encouragement. That was a cut. That was a cut, and he was anticipating the ball coming in a little harder. He went down trying to hold back a little bit, and he's able just to foul it off. But way out in front of that one. Count even now at 2-2. Looking over the glove, now going from the windup, and he pops that one foul and back out of play. And some of those folks that are
that got out of here in a hurry.
It did. And some of those folks that are leaving the ballpark and heading out that way, it might have got right in the middle of them.
Malvern softball team just run-ruled Camden Fairview 14-0. So the 4A7 goes 3-1 in the first round of the softball. So Malvern, Bauxite, Nashville, and Hamburg will represent the 4A South in the state softball tournament.
There's a ground bouncing ball to third base. Up quickly across is Pentecost, and he makes the play. Nice play, stretching out and across the diamond there, and that is going to get Johnson across, and he is not happy. Win with a nice throw, a rocket throw over there on a one hop.
Coach Johnson
is not happy.
To Brian Tackett at first base.
And he is not happy. He's giving him the what for. He's keeping his distance. If you can't see him, but he's going to get a little bit of. He's going to get a few words in and then give a little chin wag to the home plate umpire on his way across.
I don't think he agreed with that call, Blake.
I don't think he did, and I don't believe he was ordering the post-game meal.
No. Bang, bang play. That goes the way of the Badgers.
Nice play over there by Pentecost, and Allen, the speedy Allen, is out for the first put out of the inning for Arkadelphia. Nice stretch by the senior at first. Nice throw by the senior at third. 2 balls and no strikes. Nice gesture there by young man Hill. He can see it better than anybody. He gave a little, take it easy, little hands down to the Badger faithful. I think he's getting a little chippy here, and there's a ball that's going to send Goodrum to his left, and he does what he does. There is a bounding ball that sends the all-conference shortstop toward the second base bag. He comes up, flips the ball to first. 6-3 is the put out, and the Badgers are.
You think Zane signifying that was out was kind of like that commercial earlier? That was aimed at the ones outside the fence.
Yeah, that was the one that's outside the fence. Let's have some sportsmanship here. Okay, come on. Couple of nice plays there by Badger seniors in the infield. First by Pentecost and then by Goodrum, and that's what makes a pitcher smile. As if Donovan Witten needs a reason to smile. Yep. He's gotten a couple so far here in the bottom of the fifth. Piggott, the hitter now, and he'll watch ball 2 hit the dirt. And Piggott's flew out to Juice Harris back in the first and walked in the third.
That out at first base was a big call, because then right now you'd have one out with a runner at second, because Tate wouldn't have been able to get that runner at second base.
Sure wouldn't have. This is a ball that's going to just go foul, and to the benefit of the Badgers, as that one would have been a impossible play way down the line for Pentecost to get. He was rolling and wasn't able to get to it. Or he was able to get to it, but foul. So 2 balls and a strike now to Piggott. We're in the bottom of the fifth. 6-3 Arkadelphia championship game. 4A South Regional from Malvern. High, ball 3. It's been the Donovan Witten the entire way as he and Bird have battled it out on the mound. Badgers and Billies championship game. Badgers 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error for the Billies. From the windup, the pitch, ball 4. And down to first base in a hurry is Piggott. He draws a 2-out walk here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, you like that from Piggott. That was a ball 4, went to the screen. He hurried down the line to first base just in case, and that's what you. That was a nicely executed. Just a smart way to run the bases by Piggott. Get down there fast. You never know what's going to happen, especially with this backstop.
Unorthodox to say the least. Here's Tucker Breedlove. He flew out to the center fielder his last time up.
Ooh,
and
Johnny wanted to call a strike on that one. He flinched and then pulled it back.
Witten trying to get some explanation. Where's it at? Left, right, up, down? You don't like it? Tell me why you don't like it. Too much salt, too much pepper? Overcooked, undercooked? Here's the 1-0, and he's going. Here's the throw down, and it's a nice one in time. No. Late tag, and nice.
Good shot by Zane, but it was a good jump by the base runner, good tag by Tate, but it looked from our vantage point that anytime you tag on the backside or lower, it's going to be tough to get that call.
It's going to have to almost be on the hands going into the bag and not even maybe on the top of the head, maybe the shoulders, but anything south of the shoulders and you're not going to get the call 90% of the time. So 2 balls and no strikes. The runner now in scoring position. Breedlove with a big hit back in the first inning to start the scoring for the Billies, and he watches strike 1. Tucker Breedlove was the opening day winning pitcher for the Billies. Standing in now with a chance to drive in runs here, and going off the back of the mound is Witten. No throw. Piggott at second base. Being mirrored by Tate, and Tate's played it perfectly. Gloves it and throws it into the dugout, and an unforced error scores a run for the Billies. And, you know, when you talked about earlier, Chris, when you don't play a lot of night games on into the night, especially when the dew starts to settle, not making excuses for Tate in any way, but the ball just feels a little different coming out of your hand in the night rather than it does the day. You've got a little moisture, especially when it comes across the grass. It gets a little bit of dirt on it, and Tate just palmed that one a bit and threw it into the dugout. It's a 2-base error on the Badger shortstop.
Yeah, it goes without saying, though, you would have liked to get that one and be out of here with a 3-run lead and 6 outs to play with. Now, getting by the tying runs at the plate, completely different situation.
So no force, and a runner at second base, a run across. Frost, the left-handed batter, takes strike 1. And so what started out as a couple of bang-bang plays has ended up being a bit of trouble for Arkadelphia. And there's a play that's going to send Juice Harris over, and he makes the play. Venturing to his right, he knocks the ball down, secures it, comes up, makes the play over to Tucker for the 3rd out. And so a nice recovery there on a hard hit ball to the right of Juice Harris. And 4-3 is the put out, but the Billies come back with a error and a 2-base error that scores a run with 2 outs. And
left on base.
Almost
Donovan Whitten threw 20 pitches for a total of 96.
almost an inning of web gems for Arkadelphia, spoiled by one, but the Badgers still hang on to a lead here as we go to the top of the sixth. And Juice Harris making that play will be the first up.
96 pitches for Donovan, so he'll get to start the sixth inning.
Yeah, and Bird's got 81, so got a few more to give, does Bird. And Juice Harris, the batter, we're going to keep it here. He's due up here in the top of the sixth inning.
Be the 9-1-2 for Arkadelphia. Excuse me, 9-1-2 for Arkadelphia. Easy for me to say. Ooh.
Juice single back in the fourth. And Coach Johnson heads toward the home plate umpire. I don't think he did anything. He's just trying to get that 17,000 steps in on his.
It looks like Coach Duncan, John Duncan's making a mark in the board. So they defensive substitution or a re-enter.
Somewhere, we're not exactly
Monticello.
sure.
Yep.
At this point, we're going to call what we know, and that is that. All right, so that's number 9 re-entering. That's Warren Pennington. He's the right fielder. He'll go back into right, or at least wherever he was. And Juice Harris will start things off here in the sixth and takes high for ball one. That one up around the head, and nobody wants to get hit in the helmet, especially those pretty white helmets. There's a ball that's going to be softly hit to the first baseman, and over at first base is Tucker Breedlove to make the out.
Now batting for Arkadelphia, number 1, Tate Goodrum.
I think one of those ladybugs got in our color man over here. Goodrum swinging at a outside pitch, coming up empty for strike one. There's a better looking pitch that's not swung on and called ball one. So a ball and a strike now to Tate as Badgers looking for their first base runner of the inning. Leading 6-4 as we go to the top. And there is a ball that's going to be fair down the left field line. It's going to roll all the way to the fence. Going into second base is Tate Goodrum standing up. A one-out double. Just when you think Tate makes a bad play, comes back with a better at bat, and that's what a senior does. That's what a leader of the team does, and that's exactly what Tate Goodrum has done here in the sixth. He's got the Badgers breathing life and possibility of getting that run back that they gave up on the error in the bottom of the fifth. Carter Babb now. Carter has worn out the left fielder. He's flown out twice to left field. 0 for 3 on the afternoon. But with a chance here to get that run back for the Badgers and bring a little bit of, there's a strike on an off-speed pitch that finds a lot of the plate. Carter didn't seem to disagree. Ball and a strike now. Away from second is Goodrum. Sneaking in behind him, and there's a pitch that's laced out into left field. He's going to hold Goodrum at third, and so Nice piece of hitting there by Carter. He goes back to left field. This time he takes a little off the swing and puts it right out into no man's land into short left field, and the Badgers are in business with runners at the corners and the dangerous Trip Campbell coming up. And it looks like it's going to be Birds.
Now to the plate for Arkadelphia, number 12.
It looks like it's going to be Birds, so we'll see. Birds going to go and face Campbell. He's got plenty of pitches left. There's only one out in the inning. Campbell very dangerous. We'll see if the tiring Bird will give him a fastball to hit. Going into second base without a throw is Babb, and so now 2 runners in scoring position, and the Badgers in a really good spot here to not only make up that lost run from the back bottom of the 5th, but to gain a little more ground here in the top of the 6th. Umpires making their way, positioning themselves. 3-man crew again here in postseason ball. 0-1.
Carter with a big lead at second.
Big lead, nobody holding him on. Infield is in, looking to go home.
Yeah, infield in on a ground ball. They're going to be
heading home, and
but the runners don't have to run. So
no, there is space. There is an empty bag at first base, so a ground ball in the infield would need to draw a throw, and have to be some good base running over there by Tate at third base. Carter at second. He's really going to be on the heels of whatever Tate does. It's a ball and 2 strikes now to Campbell. Big spot here for Arkadelphia. From the stretch, he comes set, and there's a ball that's hit into the gap, into left field. It'll score 1. Coming around is Babb. The ball is going to be cut off, and no, it's going to get away, and so into second base with 2 RBIs. And Babb goes in a little bit hard, and he's got a right shoulder that not exactly sure what we got going on there, but I'm not sure if he landed on it. I think he went down with a slide, and I'm not sure if he may have jammed that shoulder, but a right shoulder.
Yeah, it's one that was injured earlier in the season as well.
So not a good sign there for Carter. So a double, an RBI, 2 of them for the team leader in RBIs, and I don't know about the rest of the state, but he's got to be up there with with leaders in the states in RBIs.
Yeah, it was just a big, with the infield drawn in, anything hard hit was going to get through, and that's Tripp just put it right between short and third. That drove 2 in.
8-4. Jarrett Bell puts it in play at third base. The long throw across is in time. And the runner is going to get to third base, and that's Tripp Campbell. So Badgers coming up a little gimpy here all over the place, as Campbell's a little slow to get up over at third, but a ground out from Bell does advance the runner to third base, so 6-3 is the put out.
Now batting for Arkadelphia, number 7, Wynn.
Once again, the Badgers have doubled up the Billies. It's 8-4 here as we stay here in the top of the 6th. The Badgers still batting a runner at third. Wynn Pentecost. Oh, high swing and wanting to get on the action. A little bit premature there as he climbs the ladder and not able to catch up to the fastball. Another 2 across in the inning, and the squeeze is down, and he's not going to make contact, but coming in is Tripp Campbell. And Campbell is able to steal home.
Hey, we're even on the stealing runs too. Monticello stole that run in the second inning, I believe. Yeah, it was the second inning when they took a 3-1 lead. Allen was walked. He purposely got hung up between second and third. Run scored to get that one, and then Arkadelphia just a steal home from Tripp Campbell on the read. Lou stuck the bat out there to try to get in the way, and that's the second time we've seen a steal of home this season.
So the Badgers have plated 3 in the inning now. Wynn's going to ground it to the shortstop, up and across, and making the play is Breedlove at first. Gives a little flip over the shoulder and maybe a little frustration there, but the Badgers come up big here in the late innings once again as they put a 3 spot on the board and take the lead 9-4. We're in the middle of the 6th inning here in Malvern. We're going to keep it right here, folks. We don't have a whole lot of baseball to play, but a lot on the line as the Badgers have taken a lead 9-4 now, and nothing's safe. This is championship baseball, and these are 2 championship caliber teams.
Donovan's going to come back out. I believe the
97
press box
pitches.
had him at 96, so we'll take that too.
Yeah, 96, 97 pitches. He's going to have about 12, 13 pitches left, and we'll see how far he can go. We've still got Carter Babb. He can go a lot more pitches.
Maybe.
We'll see.
He has 2 shoulders. I did, heard Coach Lowe earlier saying, JB, be ready. It's really all hands on deck. You take a look at the pictures. Ashton Cobb, Judson Kuhn, Jarrett Bell, Javion Garner have all seen action in varsity games. See how many Donovan can go this inning. This is really where you want to be efficient with your pitches. But how big was it there, Blake, to answer the 1 run in the bottom of the 5th from Monticello with 3 of our own?
Yeah, it's huge, and all those were – and we're getting an official count.
Yep.
Okay, so
Coach
we've got
Lowe
him.
Was asking, and he said something today that he pitched the first game. Coach Lowe said, whoa. She said, sorry, I was looking at the wrong sheet. It's been a long day for, in softball you don't have to worry about pitch count. But when you have to worry about pitch count,
exactly,
tracking each pitch and making sure everybody's on the same page, that
a lot going on.
That adds to it. That adds to
a lot going
having
on.
to run the game.
We've called 2 games today. Those folks up there have called every game today, and so makes for a long day. Things start to kind of run together on the page. There's strike 1, and Warren Pennington is the batter. He's struck out back in the 4th. So here in the 6th, he's the first batter for the Billies. Ball 1. So right at that 98 pitch mark now. Here's the 1-1. It is fouled, bunted foul down the left side. The left-handed hitter. Batter is not able to.
Pennington's the one that re-entered in the top of the 6th inning.
Exactly. There's a ball hit to the third baseman. He comes up with a nice throw across, and Pentecost is Pentecost comes up with a big throw, and a little barking going on as Pentecost comes up, makes the play, and the umpire going to go over and I think give the Arkadelphia defense maybe a little warning and tell them to hold it down a little bit, maybe a little too overzealous. Coach Lowe going to go out and I'm sure back up whatever the play is of the umpire is good sportsmanship. Pennington is out to start the inning, though, and not sure if there's a warning.
Yeah, probably so. He made the play and gave a little.
Yeah, he barked a little bit. Not sure what was barked back, though. That's the thing is, I think they've been, you know, when it's kind of like being a left fielder out in front of the hog pen. You know, you're going to hear a lot of chirping throughout the ball game, and when you're playing third base over in front of a dugout full of guys that are against you, they're going to be chirping at you a little bit.
Pitch 100 for Donovan. So.
Well, so whatever it is said and done. So let's play ball.
Let's go.
9:56 is the time.
2 hours and 11 minutes.
And it's been a long day here as Badgers starting things at 1:30 this afternoon. And there's a strike to start the at-bat. Brooks Bowman, the second baseman. He's reached on an error and struck out today. He's 0 for 1. And there is a offer at.
You know, they squared around a bunt a lot.
They do.
Squared around and pulled back, and, you know, I don't know if, you know, bunted with 2 outs earlier, went right back to Donovan, kind of gave Arkadelphia an out. Don't know if that was a bunt with intent or if, squared it with intent or if he was just trying to draw a ball.
And another bunt attempt, and that one's foul. So
it's a good pitch from Donovan. You had that breaking ball coming inside, and he was definitely squaring with intent, and you're not going to be able to bunt that one for anything.
So trying to bunt for an infield hit, nobody on, 1 out, and the Billies trying to put base runners on any way they can. And Bowman's found himself behind in the count 1-2, and there's a ground ball hit right at Tate. He fields it clean up across, and again the ball sails on him, and it's going to go into the dugout. So another error on Goodrum, and not sure what is going on, but E6 once again for the Arkadelphia defense.
Now to the plate for Monticello, number 26, Brooks Harvey.
And again, we've got some chirping going on, and not sure exactly what's coming out of either the stands
that
or
was out of the dugout.
The
and
dugout.
So now that's going to be on Monticello. He said, "Hey, you talk to Lou, then."
Got a pretty good ball game here, and a shouting match has broken out. But other than that, it's been a pretty back and forth affair, getting pretty chippy here into the late night hours. Runner on second base with an out. Now runner on. That one knocked down, and nice play there by Hill. He's had himself a nice day behind the plate. 1 ball, no strikes now to Harvey, Brooks Harvey, the shortstop. He's in the 8-hole. He's hit a couple of.
Yep, he line drive one right past Wynn Pentecost into left field.
He's 2 for 2 today. That one's going to get by. The runner will go to third. And that one, short arm just a little bit. It'll be a pass ball. It gets the runner to third base. Not a lot of damage. Arkadelphia with a 5-run lead, so you don't want to give up anything, but you do have a little bit of room for error. And with Witten running out of pitches, He's sitting at 106. Ball 3. Not sure if there's any activity going on in the Arkadelphia bullpen. We can't see down there.
Able to see that.
But we may have a replacement from the field. We'll see. And Witten pumps in a 3-0 strike. .107. This is going to be most likely the last, maybe the last batter. If he can get him out here, he can start one under 110. The only way he can go over. There's a walk. So this would be the last batter for Witten unless he was to draw a Well, we've got some comedians in the audience. We always do. And
109. This will be it.
109 plus 1.
Take a ground ball to Tate, a flip to Juice, and a turn on the first pitch. You take that, wouldn't you?
I'll take that.
Monticello would not take that.
So runners at the corner now.
This is the catcher that they pinch hit for early.
First at bat, the first time through the lineup, and they pinch hit for him. And Witten misses low. That one skips the dirt in front of the plate, and coming up with it is Hill. One out here in the inning, but the Billy's threatening, runners at the corners. And the last batter that we'll see from there's a strike, a high strike.
Thought the runner might break to try to stay out of the double play, but he's not getting a huge lead over there. He might on this pitch, but he was not on that last pitch.
Brooks Harvey, the shortstop, he's been on the bases all day long, and we'll see if he's going to try to take second here.
He doesn't have a big lead at all. I mean, it's
he doesn't.
Just about 2 steps.
He is being held on over there. Tucker is keeping him on. Back at double play depth are Juice and Tate in the middle, up on the grass. And he does not go for third, and there's a questionable pitch that misses. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike. Runners at the corners, kicking. And 3-1.
Hey, let's go, baby.
So we're about to see the culmination of a fine night of pitching by Donovan Witten. Strike 2. And the 9-hole hitter who's struck out, grounded out to the pitcher is dead even with Arkadelphia's big right-hander on what might be the last pitch of the outing for Witten. And it's strike 3. Down with a bang goes Donovan Witten, and still only 2 outs, so don't walk off the field just yet.
He was just waiting. He knew that he had to come out. He was just going to, make Coach Lowe take a few less steps before he had to come out.
You can't pitch, but you have to still stay out there.
Now let's see several options here. Several options for Coach Lowe. See where he.
And he's still thinking. He's still thinking about it. So the Badgers need 4 outs. They've got 2 runners on. And And we're going to see Ashton Cobb on the mound for Arkadelphia. He's going to try to come in here and close this thing out. Cobb has pitched in 6 innings so far this year. 5 games. He's not got a decision. A 2.2 ERA, so Witten's going to go to short. Goodrum's going to come out. The outfield will remain. The right side of the infield will remain.
I think he brought Tate out, and Tate looks like he's going to the bullpen to get loose just in case.
Tate having a pretty rough game at short, but most likely being taken out, just like you say. He's going in for, as an emergency relief valve here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 down, 2 on. Ashton Cobb, sophomore right-hander, will get the nod for the Badgers. Still working his way back from a off-season injury last year that he's working his way through. Expected to be a big part of the Badger pitching staff.
Now batting for Monticello.
First and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Runners at the corners. Ashton Cobb on the mound.
Dorian Allen started off the game with a single. He's walked. He's grounded out since. And the first pitch is high for ball 1. We'll see if the runner at first base, that's Harvey. We'll see if he tries to take first or tries to take second base. He's going to bluff. The ball comes inside and hits the batter. Base is loaded, so tying run potentially in the on-deck circle for the Billies as they've loaded the bases.
Now batting for Monticello, number 11, Brendan Brown.
Bright spot is there's a force at any bag, including the plate, so even a dribbler in front of the plate could be a force out. Ball 1. Braden Brown has ground out 3 times. He's 0 for 3. The designated hitter hitting in the 2-hole for the Billies. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Badgers need an out, but they still have an inning to play. And so whatever happens here will have to be carried over into the bottom of the 7th as the Billies are going to get at least one more shot at it in the last inning. That's going to draw the catcher out. Make sure they're on the same page. Couple of sophomores in the battery now for Arkadelphia. Hill behind the plate. Ashton Cobb, the pitcher, on the mound. And it is getting tense here in the late innings. Ball and a strike now to Braden Brown, the DH in the 2-hole. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Strike 2. Bending, breaking pitch.
Good looking breaking ball from Ashton there. Just kind of buckled the batter's knees. Now you got to finish.
We'll see if he's got another strike in him, or does he try to get the batter to chase out of the zone. He does have a pitch or two to burn. We'll see what he does here. He comes set under the chin. Here's the pitch, and it sails high on him. And Zane is able to save a run most definitely, as he climbs the ladder, gets that one. Two now the count. 2 outs. Runners full of billies. Bags full of billies.
Close.
Just
That was
missed
close.
outside.
Yep.
3 and 2.
Runners will be going, so anything in the gap is going to score 2, and you're going to have a chance at 3 because speed at first and at second.
Well, it's championship baseball. Have we run out of pitching, or do we still have some gas in the tank? Cobb looks the runner back to second base, and he'll think it over. Cobb comes set. Here's the 3-2. And he just misses outside, and so a base on balls and an RBI, and now a run across for the Billies. 9-5 is the score, and no help from the home plate umpire.
And not much protest from Zane either. Obviously, we mentioned all night we don't have the greatest angle. Not a bunch from Zane there either. Must have been just a little bit too far out.
Some point you got to come in. You got to come in to the zone, and Monticello is going to have, they know, base runners, and now they're at a point where the tying run is at the plate.
A little bit up, a little bit up.
So a ball and no strikes, nowhere to put. Ball's high. Two balls, no strikes. Bases loaded, 9-5. Bottom of the sixth, 1 run across already, 2 outs. Sophomore Ashton Cobb on the mound for the Badgers. Strike 1.
Every pitch is going to get a reaction from either side. If it's anything close and it's called a strike, it's going to get a reaction from Monticello. If it's anything close and called a ball, it's going to get a reaction from this side.
Well, it's championship baseball. It's a championship game. We're in the championship innings. Strike 2. One more, and Arkadelphia is out of the inning. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Tying run at the plate. In the championship game of the South Regional. Cobb comes set. The pitch. It's hit on the ground. Ryan Harris has it. The putout at first base. The Badgers have an inning to go, but they get out of this one with minor damage and a run across. Ashton Cobb comes in, does walk a run in. It's not his. And so the Badgers will take a 4-run lead into the top of the 7th inning.
Wow. Blake, I mean, baseball is a game of inches. You know, I mean, let's look at that situation real quick. If that ball gets through, it's 9-7. They're still batting. Ashton gets the ground out to Ryan, and now you've got 4 runs cushion at least going into the bottom of the 7th inning. God, what a big pitch by Ashton to throw a strike, throw something that they had to swing at, and then for Juice to make the play, get around on it, get behind it, make that throw. Just a huge swing right there in the favor of Arkadelphia.
You know, and not only that, but you got the butterflies out of the gut, if you will, of Ashton Cobb. You got, you know, it's still going to have somewhat. You're going to have some butterflies, but you've got that pressure moment that you did not control.
Yep.
Going out there, coming in out of the pen. You're cold. You've not seen any action all weekend. All of a sudden you come in. The bases are loaded. You know, it's one of those situations, championship ball game, championship innings. He does his job, gets off the field. Now he's got a couple of minutes to gather himself between the top and the bottom half of the inning. So if he is able to go back out, he may be in a better position to do so.
That was big to get out of that with that ground ball, because you could have to cut that tension, you'd have had to have a pretty strong chainsaw. There was a lot of tension in that spot. It was a big – Monticello was ready to explode. Arkadelphia was ready to exhale. After the Badger fans exhaled, then they exploded.
Witten's going to hit this one a mile into the night sky. It's going to get back against the wall, and it hits the wall. He's going to get to second, standing up, and that one was about a Subway sandwich from being a home run at the 310, right under this Malvern scoreboard. And starting the inning off and helping his own cause is Donovan Witten, who's the pitcher of record right now for the Badgers.
Yeah, they're going to go out and check on the left fielder, because it looked like it was either him or the ball that hit that fence. I couldn't see.
He slipped.
Yeah.
It's still a little damp out there right under that scoreboard from the rains a day ago, and the only spot in the ballpark that has not drained really well, there's a little bit of a saddle out there between the 310 fair pole and the scoreboard, and I think we just had a flyover a little late.
Little bat.
I don't know if that looked like a big bat.
Yeah, that wasn't little.
That might have been Batman. I don't know. That was –
it was about as big as Donovan's bat just was.
Nice one.
Was that the Batman, or was that?
It was a Batman. There's so many of them. Who can count? There's a new Batman every year. I think I might be a Batman here in another life. You think I could slide down that? Get it? You think I could get in the?
You just gave a lot of people some bad mental images of you in a Batman costume. And then
I'd be one of those. I'd be one of those fruit bats, I think.
You put me in the. Just don't put me in the Robin costume.
Oh goodness, that's even worse. All right, here's Tucker. Shot down the left field line, and that's going to score one. Tucker getting it done again, and he's going to go into second base. Head first. Oh, my gosh. What a slide. If I can be Batman, he can go in first, head first into second. Maybe he looked better than I did or would, but Tucker Johnson getting it done
he got a good read on that one, because it was a hard hit ball to left field. He was rounding first, picked the ball up, and Coach Rupin at first base, and also Tucker saw the left fielder misplay that ball, and so he didn't break stride, got into second base, and now Kelburn Middleton will pinch run for Tucker at second base.
There's that run right back. It's 10-5. They've doubled him up. Kelburn Middleton sprinting out to second base. Not sure if he was happier to be running or checking on Tucker after that belly flop he did there at second base.
DH is gone. Zane Hill's going to bat now. 13 for 10. That's Kelburn for Tucker. Tucker will re-enter. The DH is gone, and now Zane Hill's going to bat for Arkadelphia with nobody out, and Kelburn Middleton on second base. Gosh, Blake, we're going to have another 3-hour baseball game.
Well, you know what? As long as we're going to win this one and looking favorable right now, I'll take it. Fouling the first pitch back.
Bird has to be close on his pitches as well. He was at 94 starting this inning, so he's got to be close.
Bird should be that should be 100 or at least 99 for Bird. So not a lot left in the tank here.
Yeah, that's right. Donovan and Tucker both hit him early in the count. They didn't go very deep.
Zane going to pull one. It's going to be foul.
Yep. Good stop by third base.
The poor third baseman and left fielder are getting worn out in this inning. I'm sure they'd wish that ball would go somewhere else. Badgers wearing that left side out here in the inning, and Zane following suit just a bit foul. Bird's gone the distance for the Billies. He's given up 10 runs on 9 hits.
Oh.
And a high swinging strikeout goes Zane Hill, and Harris now with 1 out. Harris with a single. He is 1 for 3 on the day.
Number 2, Ryan Harris.
Yeah, you go back to that ground ball that Ashton got, and then you respond. And it was you're close to being 9-7. You get out of that 9-5, then you add a run to get that one back, and that's just demoralizing for the opponent. Now you can have a chance to get another one.
And it's going to happen. Middleton off and running. He got a really late jump. He's going to be held at third base, and man, that's a base running mistake by Middleton.
Yeah, Coach Lowe was telling him to go, and he kept looking back, and could have gotten that other one right there. And that's going to be it for Bird. He deserves a hand too. You know, you come in this situation, and he's hit that pitch limit. Tremendous job by that young man to come in and give him a full 110 pitches on that in his effort tonight. So he will take a seat, and we will see if we have we'll listen for the new pitcher, because I don't believe that is one who had been in the game. It is not. New pitcher for Monticello, tall right-handed pitcher, looks to be about 6'2", possibly 6'3". Ryan Harris on first base, Kelburn Middleton on third base, 1 out. Tate Goodrum re-enters. Yep. Goodrum's going to re-enter for Ashton Cobb. Goodrum re-enters for Ashton Cobb, and so there will be a different pitcher on the mound for Arkadelphia. Tate will come up to bat. Ashton did his job and really, really had a couple of big pitches to keep that game at 9-5. So kind of reset now. Tate Goodrum back into the game, re-entering into the batting order for Arkadelphia. All right, so the announcements are made. The pitcher will wait for his name to be called. Tate Goodrum back up to bat with a chance to drive Kelburn Middleton in. Ryan Harris at first, 1 out. I think there might be a good shot that Ryan goes on the first pitch to try to eliminate that possibility of a double play. I believe this is Brendan Brown, or Samuel Napier. Looking on the roster for Monticello, there are 2 number 5s on the Scorebook Live roster. So we'll wait and see if the PA announcer after 2 3-hour games maybe saying, guys, come on now, let's just get this one over with. There. So Goodrum up to the plate. He re-enters, so we'll see who comes to the mound for Arkadelphia in the bottom of the 7th. Ashton Cobb did his job, and Coach Lowe said as much. Goodrum, the first pitch he sees, shot into the center field, and that's going to get down. Kelburn Middleton's going to score. Ryan Harris is going to have to stop at second base. Tate Goodrum does his job, giving Arkadelphia another insurance run on the first pitch he sees from the relief pitcher. Now Arkadelphia has first and second with 1 out, and Carter Babb comes to the plate. Blake, good at bat on the re-enter there by Tate Goodrum, getting Arkadelphia that run back, and now you've added to the lead instead of just regaining the lead.
Yeah, and Tate's had a rough day in the field, and he's made up for it with a nice day at the plate. He is 3 for 4 at the plate today, so a nice offensive day for Tate, when a very unusual day and a not so great day on defense. But, you know, that's what we talked about it the last time Tate came up. He made a bad play. He palmed the ball and threw it into the dugout on a routine play and comes back up with a double. Does it again last inning and comes back up with a single here to score a run and an RBI. So more than one way to skin a cat, and a crafty veteran like Tate Goodrum, a 4-year starter, he knows how to get it done. Here's Babb. Will we see Babb in the bottom of the 7th? We'll see him in the top of the 7th. Running on the pitch and trying to protect the batters, or the runners, was Babb. He swung at a bad pitch.
Well, he squared around and offered the bunt and tried to go with it, and so it's 0-2 is the count.
Definitely not what he wanted to do. He did it to get the runners around, and now we've got 2 more runners in scoring position.
Now, if you can drag bunt.
And still just one out.
Yeah, if you got an out to, if you can push it, kind of a push bunt. They're playing in, though, so they're trying to cut off that run at third. So if you can just get one hard contact, pull one through the middle, you might score 2.
Ground ball is hit in the hole under the second baseman. 1 will score, 2 will score. Arkadelphia is blowing it open here in the top of the 7th. And the championship trophy for the region is getting
a lot of baseball left.
A lot of baseball, but it's starting to look a little easier as they've now stretched it out to an 8-run lead.
With that infield in, they've done that twice with no runner at first base. And so they've drawn that infield in Arkadelphia both times. I believe it was Trip Campbell went to the left side between third and short and drove in 2 runs. Carter does it then on an 0-2 count. He gets around on it, and, if he's hit that same exact ball probably 5 times this weekend. If the second baseman's playing regular, there's 2 outs and only 1 run scores.
So here's Campbell. Only Babb is at first base left. The Badgers have plated everyone else. 4 in the inning. Still only 1 out. And here's the left-handed hitting center fielder. Ooh, big cut, and he was looking for a piece of pie there. and a big slice.
He's trying to hit that spot where our buddy was out in left center field.
I think he thought better. So 0-2 now to Tripp, and Carter over at first base. He's being held on by Breedlove. And here's the pitch. The runner goes.
Nice cut by Tripp. Carter was off on the pitch. Tripp it was a hit and run, and so he had to do something with it. And he slapped it out there foul and stay alive for another one.
So 0-2 count still to Campbell. We'll see if Babb goes on the pitch. Probably will not. We'll see. Very modest lead. Got the oven mitt on the left hand. And there's a high ball that's driven out to center field. Coming in and making the play is Allen. Boy, it sounded good off the bat.
It sure did.
That sounded good. Just disappeared into that dead night air, and coming in and making the play is Allen for the second out. So back to first goes Babb, and Jay Bell is the hitter here with 2 down in the top of the 7th.
Now batting for the Badgers, number 8, Jared Bell.
Pitcher gives a look over, and there goes Babb. JB's going to hit it just foul down the left side.
Left fielder said, I'm not even going after that one.
I don't even want to try it. I'm sure that young man is probably, not only is he tired, but he's probably wet from wherever he hit that wall, and whatever bit of moisture's left out there after the 6.5 inches of rain on Friday. Or, excuse me, Thursday.
What day is today?
Today is Saturday,
That means
almost
tomorrow's
Sunday.
Mother's Day.
Tomorrow is Mother's Day.
It might be still Mother's Day by
Maybe
the time
Mother's
this
Day,
one ends.
exactly. Maybe Mother's Day before we get out of here.
2 hours, 45 minutes.
1-1 to Bell. Babb at first, getting his lead. A little bit more, a little bit more. JB's going to hit one right back to the pitcher for the third out. So away go the Badgers, but not after 4 more, and a 13-5 going into the bottom of the 7th inning here. 3 outs away from a regional championship and a bye into next week's state tournament in Nashville.
Left on base, Sam Napier, 12 pitches.
So we'll see who comes out. I see Coach Lowe talking to Ryan Harris,
Judson
talking
Coon.
to Zane Hill, talking to John Duncan. So I think we're going to have a 27 for 2, 27 for Ryan Harris.
Yep.
27 for 2. Get Judson in there, get him a couple of at-bats, and throw strikes, and that's what Judson Coon will do.
Tate Goodrum will defend now at second base, as Witten will remain at short. And so we'll see the junior right-hander, Judson Coon, in for the first time in the tournament. And 3 outs away.
Someone's awake.
Yep.
3 up, 3 down. I believe it might have been a couple of our younger Badgers and
maybe a couple of our more seasoned Badgers.
They're awake.
We'll leave it at that. Championship baseball. Couldn't ask for any less. From 2 championship programs, 2 championship conference winning teams, Arkadelphia and Monticello. Badgers in the catbird seat right now and 3 outs away from the top of the mountain here, at least for this weekend, and they'll at least not have to start at the bottom of the mountain next week if they can pull off this win here today.
Hold on to this and get that regional championship, which is exciting, but golly, you get that bye. You get that bye in the first round. Man, they're –
well, it takes you being able to keep that number 1 pitcher in 2 of the 3 games that you potentially would play instead of Breedlove with a big swing and a miss. Judson, the big sweeping delivery. That one's going to be in the hole. Gloved, but not able to come up with it. Going hard at it was Witten from short, and it was just right up the middle. Too far for anyone to get to it, and it rolls into short center field for a leadoff single. John Frost now, he's not been able to get on at all. He's 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out today. Boy, a good looking pitch there that not real sure where that one ended up. But it's ball 1. up in a stance ready to throw and that one hits the batter. So runners now at first and second. And we're going to have a pinch hitter in for the Billies. It's number 25. And that's going to be it for Kuhn, and gives up a single, hits batter, and he's done for the day, and call goes to Carter Babb.
So Harris will re-enter for Kuhn.
And he'll go to right field. So pinch hitter for Warren Pennington. Pennington's not really done anything today, so he's 0 for 3. Arkadelphia needs strikes and outs, and I guess that's about all you ever need as a pitcher, but Babb's just going to be called on to not make any unforced errors. So Carter Babb is back in. He's got pitches left from a start a game ago.
The new pitcher for Arkadelphia, number 22, Carter Babb.
Babb threw 67 pitches in the game earlier today, so he'll have about 43 pitches for the inning. And we'll see if Carter can use those 43 or up to those 43 to get the job done here in the bottom of the 7th. First and second are the runners for Monticello, nobody out. Pinch hitter up, and he's going to foul the first one backing out of play over to the right side, and Carter coming into the zone. And the junior lefty going to toe the rubber for the Badgers in the stretch. Gives a little nod, not much attention to the runners, not important at this point, and pumps in a second strike here. Makes that circle around the mound, toes it with the left foot, dangles that left arm, comes set at the belt. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, and one down here in the bottom of the 7th. So Babb, a guy that a night ago was
another pinch hitter, 6 for 12.
Was a big difference in the Crossett game. Come in and close the door on Crossett, had some big hits for Arkadelphia, and now he's coming in to save this thing for the Badgers, and he's up and out of the zone for the first pitch of the at-bat. Runners at first and second. Don't matter. In a 13-5 game here with one out in the bottom of the 7th. Strike one, nice breaking pitch. Carter finds it. The batter does not, and so it's even in a ball and a strike, and out, 2 on.
Watch that runner at second base. He's giving his batter the signal as to where the what the pitch is going to be. If he did it with his right arm this last time. See if he does it with this one as well. No, he just said, I don't know what it is.
There's a ball that gets away. Going to have to check these baseballs as they go back to the pitcher now with the evening dew on the ground. Anything that gets in this grass is going to have some condensation on it most likely. And a young catcher like Zane, not playing a lot of night games as a varsity player, is something he may have to think about. I'm sure Bab will let him know if the ball's not to suit him. Call from the Arkadelphia dugout. Stay tall, drive with your legs.
Mm.
We'll see if we're on the right page. I think that's the main thing, is make sure that we're on the right wavelength. Runners at second and third now. Ball past Hill, puts both runners into scoring position now. Breedlove at third. Got pinch hitter at second. No, actually that's Frost at second. Pinch hitter struck out. It's a fly ball that's going to stay in the infield. Settling under it to his left is Tate Goodrum. He's going to make the play. Baird almost overran it.
That ball had some spin on it.
It did. A lot of wicked movement on that one, huh? But Tate's able to corral it in the swirling.
Number 26, Brooks Harvey.
So Harvey now, the batter. Harvey, the left side of the plate. He's got a couple of singles and a walk. He's 2 for 2 on the day. And there's a strike for, start things off the right way for Arkadelphia. Here's the 0-1. And it gets by, it's going to get down. The runners are not going to advance.
Yeah, you don't want to make that third out at home. If something crazy happened, there's no need to risk that.
No.
If you're Breedlove.
You're down by 8 runs. You're not going to win the ball game from third base on that pitch. Long hill to climb for the Billies. Like
good.
that one?
That was good.
And the 1-1 is outside for ball 2. First base is open. Bab wanting to put this one away right here. Oh, big swing way out in front is Harvey. And so 2 balls, 2 strikes. Monticello down to their last strike. Arkadelphia ready to explode. Badgers up on the rail over the dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looking over the glove from the windup. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he went to lift the hand and wow, he went to lift the hand and he gets a little bit of a grin from Carter Babb. And oh man. Yeah, wow. Home plate umpire almost, he was 3/4 of the way. And a swing. And he's out. Swing and a miss, throws it out. Arkadelphia champions of the South Regional, and a dog pile in front of home plate between home and the mound, and Arkadelphia wins it 13-5. Winning pitcher Donovan Witten, and so the book on Witten is going to look like, excuse me, we're going to do this real quick. Let me get to my stats here.
And regional champion.
All right, so Witten is the winning pitcher. Throws 115 pitches. 4 hits, 5 runs, 1 earned. He walked 4, struck out 7. The Arkadelphia Badgers, champions of the region, they're going to go to Nashville as the #1 seed from the 4A South, and they will play on Friday, the 8th of May. And you can catch it all right here on Arkadelphia Badger TV and your new Arkadelphia Badger app on Mascot Media. For Chris Babb, this is Blake Bell saying, yeah, let's do that. We're going to watch the trophy presentation. Go ahead and do that while we've got it. We've got you here. Nobody's got anywhere better they'd like to be. We're going to turn our sound off and
ladies and gentlemen, we would like to present the plaques at this time. First, the runners-up of the 4A South Regional, the Monticello Billies.
I have none.
And now we present to you your 4A South Regional champions, the Arkadelphia Badgers. Congratulations to both teams and wish you both the best of luck in the state tournament.
They're gonna fight over the flag.
That ain't the one, boys.
Look, they went across. It's really not.
That ain't the one.
No, that's not the one we want.
Just one step on the.
We want the one on the 21st.
So what time is the game Friday?
I got it right here, though.
Okay.
That's the one we want.
Yeah! Friday at 12:30.
12:30.
Yep.
Friday at 12:30.
Well, there you have it. Everyone's ready to get
Everybody.
home. Everybody in the ballpark, all the hosts. It's been a great weekend here from Malvern, and we appreciate the staff at Malvern for putting on such a great tournament. Great work by the Arkadelphia Badgers. They put this one on ice, 13-5. They go undefeated in the South Regional, and they are champions not only of the 4A7 but also the 4A South region, as they will go into the state tournament next Friday at 12:30. They will play from Nashville, and they will be the #1 seed. They'll get a bye, will not have to play Thursday, so a maximum of 3 games. And then there's a state championship at the end of the rainbow for Arkadelphia. Glad you could make it. Hope you join us either in person or online next week. For Chris Babb, this is Blake Bell saying so long from Malvern, Arkadelphia, champions of the region.